What is up, everyone? Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Audrey, and I am here with the amazing Jimmie Yamaguchi and also my friend Harada. Thank you so much, Jimmie, for joining us today and for this extremely interesting live interview. I'm sure a lot of people in chat are super excited to learn more about you as a voice actor and your journey, and also talk about video games with you since I know you are a gamer. Um, oh, 1 second. I cannot hear.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you are. Okay, okay.
All right.
Awesome. So yeah, I guess for those of you who are new here, I or to my channel as well, I'm Audrey. I live in Tokyo. I am usually on Twitter, like talking about video games and anime sometimes. And I own an anime video game merchandise company called Aitai Japan. We own the website aitaikuji.com. Maybe some of you guys have bought from us before. But yeah, I also do content creation. I work with companies within the industry, and I focus on media and event coverage as well as translations of news and just pretty much like all around fandom stuff that I'm interested in. And so, for those of you who are new to iTai Chat, iTai Chat's actually a podcast that my friend Harada and I did like a couple years back, and we like kind of do it sporadically. We interviewed Ray Chase before, and we did stuff with ProZD, Lady Beard, Alex Mukala, and so forth. So we have been doing this for a couple years now, but yeah, to actually like be doing it consistently. We don't actually like do it that consistently. But yeah, thank you so much, Jimmie, for joining us today. And I'm sure that chat is extremely excited to see and hear about yeah, your journey as well. So I don't know
Thank
if you
you.
want to like introduce yourself and how did you can do introduce after.
Hi, I'm Jimmie Yamaguchi. For those of you who don't happen to know me, you may have heard some of my voice work in Zenless Zone Zero, where I'm Hugo, recently 2XKO, where I'm Yasuo. I am also Zlong and Mobile Legends, and a number of other different projects that you can hear me in. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, thank you for agreeing to this interview. I know it might be
Oh,
maybe a
yeah,
little
of course.
daunting. It's live, so yeah, because I saw your interview that was posted on YouTube, and I was like, wait, he also plays games. I gotta talk to this
Oh, yeah.
guy.
Oh, yes. Oh, God. All the time. Constantly. Constantly.
Yeah, because I was listening to it, and I was like, wait, why is he not asking more about FF16? Why is he not asking more about Claire Obscur? Yeah, so that's why yeah, we got acquainted, and then thank you again for joining Itai Chat. And Harada, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Harada. I am a marketing professional working in the video game and entertainment industry for the past 12 years. I've worked on various titles such as Final Fantasy 15 and such. More recently, where I was partnered with Xbox on a title. So, as Audrey was saying, absolutely love hopping in on these chats and just geeking out and just talking about all things voice acting. So, let's do it. Let's rock and roll.
Yes, let's do it.
Awesome. Before we begin, Jimmie, can you make your mic a little bit louder because Harada's coming off a bit
You
hot.
got it.
Oh,
Is
excellent.
that a little better?
Sorry.
No, it's no worries. I just want to adjust with Harada's because it's I see that it's a little bit hot for her. Yeah, should be fine though. So yeah, so again, very excited to do the interview. So we can just jump right in. So yes, just to get chat updated. So what we will be doing is we'll be having questions that we'll ask Jimmie, and then at the end, towards the end of the interview, we'll have a Q&A where chat can also ask questions that they would like answer, and mods in the chat will be screening the questions, and then we'll like maybe 5 questions or so that the audience will ask Jimmie. Great. Okay, so first question, Jimmie, that we usually ask voice actors we've interviewed in the past is what exactly got you interested in voice acting and have you been doing?
Okay, so I've been doing it for about 6 years now. There are a couple of years prior where like gave it a shot and just didn't succeed and then gave up and then I ended up trying again. thanks to a friend and my wife were like, "Hey, you really should give it a shot again." So I did, and that was during COVID times. Is basically when I ended up giving it a real try. What got me into it? I've wrote my college capstone thesis on voice acting, and it was all inspired by one anime in particular. Now, of course, I idolized my Steve Blooms and my Crispin Freemans and whatnot during that time frame. But the one that sort of solidified it in my brain that, hey, this is a profession, something you can actually do, was Fruits Basket,
Fruits
which
basket.
is Fruits Basket is my favorite anime of all time. And
Okay.
Toru Honda is the reason that I went into voice acting because of
Torada.
Laura Bailey. Yep.
I was not expecting that.
I know, nobody does.
That's amazing. Did you watch the remake?
Actually, hold on. Give me a hot second. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, before I
Fruits
destroy the
basket.
universe by breaking everything. Oh, I ruined Christmas already.
It's all
Oh,
good.
it's only September. So,
Whoa, that is amazing. Total that like that is
so
awesome.
yeah,
That
yeah,
is
there you
awesome.
go.
Where did you get that?
That is probably, I don't know, 15, 20 years old or something like that. An
Wow.
artist happened to have had it in an artist alley when I was at an anime convention before I was on this side of the table, I suppose.
Mm.
And I was like, I absolutely love it. I'm buying it. So I went and just snagged it up, and I've had it ever since.
What so before voice acting, what were you doing? Like
Oh, post college.
yeah.
Post college, I was a teacher working with special needs children. And that transitioned into a bunch of different parts of the school system as well. Just so everybody understands and that there's complete transparency and understanding, I do not have my teacher's certificate. What I ended up having was a sub certificate where they hired me as a paraprofessional or a teaching assistant. But because I knew all the curriculums, I knew how to do everything, they would just put me into any field that they needed me to, and I would teach that class for that day, for the week, for however long that was needed. Then I would go back to working with my children specifically, and everyone's like, "Get your teaching cert, get your teaching certificate." And I was like, "I want to be a voice actor. That's what I want to do." So it's been a long, long process. In addition to that, outside of teaching, I have worked backstage setting up concerts. So I would set up Rihanna, Chicago, Def Leppard.
Rihanna.
Yeah,
That is amazing as well.
Rihanna had a cannon that shot out confetti,
Okay.
and the confetti went everywhere to the point where that confetti is still being found decades later. There is Rihanna
Wait, how
confetti
old is Rihanna?
everywhere. I found it once in my pocket. Like
What?
when we were, you're cleaning up the stage or whatever, it was in my pocket and it had been there through multiple washes. So it's like the infinite confetti from that cannon.
That is
Uh
amazing.
oh God. There was so much confetti. Uh Other than that, what else have I done? Hosted trivia. I've hosted trivia um, I don't know if you necessarily have it where you are, but you'll go to a restaurant, a bar, a pub, or something like that, and there'll be a person who's hosting trivia. And, everybody grabs some sheets or goes on their phone or does something like that. I've done that for, I want to say it's over 15 years now. And I actually attribute a lot of my voiceover practice was because I was doing that. You're constantly live performing, you're constantly interacting with guests. It was invaluable.
Yeah, I remember when we talked previously, I had have no idea what trivia is. um, I'm from Los Angeles originally, but like growing up, I have never seen that. So maybe like you want to explain a little bit, like what
Okay,
exactly?
so pub trivia basically, the host will come up with a quiz or something like that, and it's different categories: general knowledge, sports, music, entertainment, history, things like that. then either you'll play on your phone or you pass out answer sheets. And then, each team has a writer. They write down the answers, they pass them back in. The host will grade them and then give out scores and gives out prizes. And then the team with the highest score at the end gets like a gift card or a big prize or something like that.
So it's like Jeopardy.
Yeah, basically,
Oh.
but on a much smaller scale, sort of thing.
And then you're the one who like comes up with the questions?
hmm Yeah, you go, you do your research, you'll come up with questions, you'll uh, c- uh, edit do brief snippets of music, and then they have to guess either the artist or the name of the song, or sometimes you'll play a fun little uh, thing from a TV show, like the theme to the TV show, and they got to figure that one out as well. But yeah, it usually lasts 2 hours, and people love it. They come back weekly. It's like almost religious.
Interesting. I've never seen that or done that before, but Harada, have
Oh,
you?
people get into it.
No, no, I have not. So, I mean, I've seen a bit of trivia, but not like people religiously going and everything like that. But I mean, that's great. And I think it's actually fantastic to know a little bit of what life was like for you before voice acting. And, that is a perfect segue into like, with various roles, especially with everything kind of, snowballing. And what would you say was the one role, though, that really gave you your break?
Oh, the one that gave me, all right, that's actually probably two things. It is probably both Hugo and Yasuo. So Yasuo was all right, so now I'll do the story of Yasuo so
Okay.
that people know. All right.
Yeah, because it's a rather
Mhm.
new role that you were able to announce, right? So I'm
Yeah,
sure
it's
people.
newer, but it's my first AAA that I ever did or recorded for. So basically I was getting ready to go host trivia, and
Oh,
I get a
nice.
phone call from a casting director. And I don't necessarily want to mention names because I don't know if they would want me to. So the casting director calls me and it's like, good for you for putting your phone number on your resume and your website. Uh, I want you to audition for this role. And I'm like, oh God, I'm going to a gig right now. Can I get it to you later? They're like, can you get it to me like almost immediately? And I'm like, yeah. So I raced to trivia, gave the fastest trivia game I've ever done, raced back home, sat there, and I was like hosting trivia, and I'm like reading through the script as I'm like hosting trivia, trying to figure out what's going on. I get home, I do the roll, and I see the sheet, and I'm like, oh, cool, this is really exciting. And it said, all the I think the name was like Ronin is what they called it.
Mm,
And it was a bunch of lines. So I didn't necessarily know what I was auditioning for because sometimes when you audition for things, they'll give you a script, but that has nothing to do with the character.
right.
It's just to get a feeling of whether you can act,
The range.
your range, your capabilities. Does your performance sound right for the role? So I did it, and I sent it in, and then I didn't hear anything. And I'm like, oh, I didn't get it. That's fine. They're like, hey, guess what? Call back. And I was like, oh, okay. So then we went and I did the call back, and I'm sweating bullets, had a mild panic attack. And once that was all done, um, I didn't hear anything again. And I
Oh,
was like, you know what? I got a call back. It was good. I feel good about myself. It was
yeah.
fine. And then I got the email that said, congratulations, you've been cast as Yasuo. And like I teared up. I was
Oh,
at my day job at the time and I started tearing up when I saw it because it was my first booking of a AAA game.
oh, that's awesome.
And and then oh, and during the casting call, they were like, "Oh, by the way, you're auditioning for Yasuo. He's one of our most popular characters. No pressure or anything." And I was like, "Oh my god."
Low key. It's like super, super low key.
So on the exterior, or at least I hope I was like, "Yes, I'm professional. I can do this." And on the inside, I'm like, "Oh my god."
Screaming internally, like
Yeah,
I don't.
basically screaming into the void.
Yeah,
Um,
that's awesome. How many years ago was that?
oh, 23. So it was
Oh,
about
okay.
2 years ago. We've had to wait a long time
Mm.
to get to the point that we're at now. So, and then, when I heard it was Yasuo, the implications of getting that role like washed over me, and the cold sweat happens, and you're like, "Oh my God, why am I doing this? What am I supposed to do?" So the stress level was even higher. So then the day finally came, and I had to go record, and it was my very first day in a professional studio recording.
Oh.
So I walk in, I go up the elevator, I go into the recording booth, and I am already nervous. And then I put on the headphones and I hear some people talking, and then they're like, "Hey, can you see us?" And then I look at the iPad, and then the Zoom pops up, and I'm not going to mention who it was or anything like that because I don't know if they would necessarily want me to talk about it.
Mm.
But as soon as the director popped up, I went, "God!" Internally, of course, and I'm
Yes,
like,
yes,
"Hi,
yes. Professionally on the outside.
it's wonderful to meet you. Thank you so much. I'm really excited." But inside, I'm like going, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" And you just once we started, your brain sort of clicks in, and you sort of get it done, get it together, and you just start, you just go. It is like, well, riding a bicycle. You just kind of
Oh my god.
roll
I
with it.
was sorry, the bicycle thing. Yeah, I was just telling Jimmy and Harada that my sister, there's a saying where you don't forget how to ride a bicycle, but she actually forgot how to ride a bicycle. So that was a little random tangent that we were talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
Claudia's in chat. She's like, "Yep, true story."
yeah.
How do you forget to ride a bicycle? Sorry. Anyway, going back. um,
I so once it was all done and once it was all finished, the person seemed very happy, very pleased with the performance. And if they were pleased and happy, I knew I had done a good job. So I didn't have to worry after that point. I felt good, confident about it.
hmm. So when you got the audition, it didn't say like what it was or the
Nope,
character.
nothing,
It's just like, oh, just
nothing.
say these lines.
Yeah, basically. And it was very action gamey sounding. There were a lot of efforts. Efforts, for those of you that don't know, are like the huh, ha, all those sorts of sounds. The big booming attack sounds, the small ones getting the getting
Mm.
hit sounds. Those are all efforts.
So prior to that, since this was kind of like your first major audition, like did you like practice that by yourself? Like
I mean, yeah, occasionally you would like figure out ways, you would like research, figure out how people do things, and efforts are different um, based on the location of the acting, is from what I've subjectively
you
noticed.
mean like the
So,
location as in where in America?
so for example, an East Coast sound to an effort is very different from a West Coast sound or a Western style sound. So,
Mm.
for example, hold on, I better turn down my gain if I'm doing this. Um, so, for example, an East Coast sound would be more, or not East Coast, Eastern sound would be more like sound, that real guttural.
Mm.
While a West Coast or a Western sound would be more like.
Hmm. Interesting. Why?
I don't know. I think it's probably dialectal.
Oh.
Maybe because of and you do start to see the blend. It's just what I've noticed. So if you watch anime in the original Japanese, you'll
Hmm.
hear a lot of more of the guttural throat sounds than you
Mm,
will
true.
in the English version. There are still the same ones in the English version, but they're not quite all here down into the gut sounding. You'll hear a
Mm.
lot more like sort of sound,
Mm.
almost like there's more air. It's hard to explain. If you go and you like take the time, watch a scene, watch it in Japanese, then watch it in English, you'll
Mm.
hear the difference in how the efforts are done.
Interesting. Actually, not related to like anime, but I play FF14, Final Fantasy 14, and
Hmm.
when you choose the voice of your Warrior of Light, there is like I guess what it's efforts sounds that you can hear like obviously that you don't know who's saying it, but you can clearly tell who is the Japanese voice actor or actress and who's
Hmm.
the Western one. And there's like I think 8 or 9 different voices you can choose from. I could be wrong, but yeah, I didn't know that it was called effort. That's very cool.
Yeah, yeah. And now that you know, like pay attention as you're watching, and it's not it's more a matter of like an art form. Like there's Art Deco or Impressionist painting, stuff like that. It's just that style of art. And then you will see the art styles start to blend too. The more you pay attention to it, the more you'll see it.
Well, that's super interesting. I did not know that there was like the regional. I mean, of course, Japan and West, there's regional differences for that you can, but not like within the U.S. as well. That's fascinating.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't think anybody's ever really created a study or done anything on it, at least that not that I'm aware of. But it would be an interesting thing to actually sit down and go, let's take a look at the artistic styles and the way these are done, and sit down with a speech pathologist and go, what parts of the vocal structure are being used to formulate this attack, and this is the same attack, but in a Western mindset or art, Western artistic style, what part would they be doing? It would just be an interesting study to look at.
That's very interesting. Yeah, I had no idea.
Mm.
But thank you for sharing that. But yeah,
Mhm.
going back to like video games and anime, I'm still like kind of like hung up on that fruits basket thing. But like what about so yeah, what about fruits basket or like Honda that like was inspiring for you to, want to get into voice acting?
So it's because Toru is actually a character that I sit down and reflect upon for myself, where I go, y- am I showing the kindness I should be? Am I showing the understanding, the empathy, the ability to help pick someone up should they need it? Because that's what she did. She's not strong in that she can destroy a mountain. She's strong that she could rebuild a person with her kindness. And that I thought was beautiful. And not only could she do that just as herself, she did that after suffering all that trauma. She lost everyone. She was living alone in the woods until, they found her and then brought her into the home to live so that she had a safe place to live. And in spite of all of that, she still had the strength to smile. That is strength. That is a very strong person to be able to smile after losing everyone you've ever loved.
That's really deep. Like fruits basket for me, like thinking about it, I was like, I mean, yeah, it's a very cute story. But yeah, that's never really thought about it that that in that
Yeah.
level. Yeah,
Oh,
but
I almost didn't want to watch it at first because they were like, "You watch Fruits Basket." I'm like, ugh, this isn't gonna have giant robots, cowboys that are in space, or someone screaming about being over 9,000. Fine. Fine, I'll watch it. All right. And then 3 episodes in, I'm like, why is nobody being nice to Momiji? I don't understand.
it is a bit unassuming, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. Is there any other like anime video game influences you had when you were like growing up, for example?
Probably I want to say like my very first anime would be something like Voltron Transformers, because
Oh.
that was really strong in the Western market. But when I got, older, I would say my very first one sort of is probably Vampire Hunter D.
Oh my god.
Old school, like old. I miss that art style too.
Yeah.
That old school art style.
Wow. That's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
what was that? Was that something that you saw like did you have to watch it online or was it like playing on TV or I don't think it was.
No, no. Oh God. Oh God. Now you're going to get to find out how old I am.
It's okay. You don't need to tell us how
VHS.
old you are. Um, but I mean, I
It
know
was on
vampires.
VHS.
A
We would
VHS.
have to
Oh
go
yeah.
into like the store and find it on like a VHS tape. So back in the old days when we needed to watch anime, you needed to go into the store and buy a rectangle to put into VCR. If I wanted to watch anime that didn't exist here,
Yeah.
there was no streaming. We had to go into New York City, go into a dark alley, go down a set of stairs, go into some random person's shop where they had rows of VHS tapes with just horribly printed labels of Dragon Ball Z, and that's how I got to experience Broly for the first time.
That is
By
amazing.
by spending, it was like $10 a video is what you could,
Wait,
and you
then
would get the Broly movie.
where would they have gotten the footage? Because like we're talking, of it's VHS, they had to like.
So my guess is they were done like dubbed by fans or something like that. Someone
Oh,
would download it, dub it, then they would have a master dub, I guess, and then that master dub would be one person would have the master dub and put it into a VCR, play it while the other VCR is recording it, and then they would have one, put it on the shelf, do that over and over and over again. It wasn't like click and drag, copy, paste. You had to watch the whole movie to record it on the other VCR, and now you
right,
have one.
right,
So
right,
you could
right.
do one every 90 minutes, basically.
My God, that I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, yeah, it was. And so the quality was terrible. The quality was so bad. So if you watch some of the old school, maybe it's like a parody, or you go and you watch the old like YouTube videos and stuff like
Mm.
that, and you see the picture go
Mm.
because the VHS, the tape itself is like all wonky.
Yeah.
That's what they were like. And if that's what it was, or part of the thing was cut out or something, you just had to deal with it and not know what happened in that moment.
Wow. So then, obviously there's no subs, right? Then it's just like fan dubs for all of these things.
Yeah, basically.
Oh.
Basically, it was all just sort of fan dubbed. And sometimes they would make sense and sometimes they wouldn't. And you would just kind of, roll with it.
Imagine if it was like someone trolled and it was just like fandom fan dubbed, but it was like not the story at all. And you watch the whole season, you're like, oh yeah, yeah, it was really good. It was just made up.
Why are they mentioning Arby's? That doesn't make any sense.
Like imagine. That's amazing. Yeah, that's really interesting. But Fruits Basket, I'm sure it was like probably you watched it online. Yeah.
Fruits Basket, I actually still own. I think I have it on DVD, is what I had it on.
Mm. Gotcha, gotcha. That's very cool. But yeah. Thanks for letting us know
Oh
how
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what got you into voice acting.
Yeah, so as a fellow Japanese American, I'm curious, did your family and upbringing play, a strong role in shaping your career path? And you mentioned especially going in the dark alley and everything like that to find fan dubbed anime, but was anime in general and also just video game culture, a big part of your household, especially in the, growing up, way back when, or was it something, you discovered on your own?
For the most part, anime itself is something I discovered on my own, but the video games are closely associated with my father. So my dad would take me to the arcade and we would play in the arcade and I would love it. And then one day he brought home a Sega Master System, again showing my age, and it was the first time I got to play like video games at home sort of thing. And we would sit there and we would play. We played Black Belt and Fantasy Zone, and I'm an RPG guy. RPGs are my thing. So the thing that solidified my love of RPGs was Fantasy Star. Fantasy Star 1 is what solidified my love of RPGs. And if since that point I never stopped playing video games, and it always reminds me of my dad. So that's how the whole video game um love of it sort of came about. I actually grew up away from my Japanese side of the family. I only got to see them so many times because they lived so far away. So most of what I have is either because of my dad or is self-made.
That's awesome. So your father is the Japanese. I mean, obviously, your
Yes.
last name, yeah, Yamaguchi. So is he like first generation or like was he second
He
generation or?
is second generation, I believe.
Do you speak Japanese?
No, only a little. I was like, Dad, why don't you speak Japanese? And he would be like, because I was a bad student.
So in the household, like I guess you guys didn't speak Japanese, right?
No, no. All the Japanese I know is either from watching anime or I took it in college for a little while. And then I transferred and they didn't have it anymore, so it kind of went away. I would still love to pick it up again, but I don't know if I have quite the time or the ability to do the proper immersion that's necessary to properly learn a language.
Right, right, right. And how did that? You don't speak either, do you? Do you a little bit?
ちょっと.
ちょっとだけ。
Yeah.
いいね、いい
I
ね。
was, well, you already know, yeah. I was born in Osaka, but moved to the States and everything like that. And Otosan Nihonji, my father's Japanese, but yeah, you know, that's how it is.
Right, right, right. And your father was actually like, like came from
Yeah,
Japan
yeah,
to the
straight up from
US.
Hiroshima and everything. Yep.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Right. Very cool. But yeah, going back to video games. I'm sure a lot of people in chat want to hear about your role as Hugo from Zenless Zone Zero, and I saw you actually play the game right now as well.
Yes.
How far are you with the game?
I am currently level 32 is where I'm at.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
It's not, but well, to be fair, that whole first day I played for like 9 hours straight. I'm like, I love this. So I was invested. And then I try to pop on every day to at least pull in some polychromes and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. I'm not as far in the story because I get the gamer exploration thing where I'm like, what's this? And I go
mm,
and like run off into the nowhere land and start exploring like random stuff. Ooh,
yeah,
look at this painting. So I love the artistic style of ZZZ to the point where I'm sitting there, I'm like, I think I could make that bench. So there's one bench if you leave the video store and you hang a left,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
you go to where you can buy the W engines.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
There's a bench right near there.
yeah. Like
I,
a just
I
like a
think I
seated.
could make that.
What do you
So
mean? Like you're gonna
like
make it
build
like
it. Like I could
crafted?
cut the wood, get the skateboards, repaint them, custom
Ah,
paint each skateboard to make the full bench. I was like, I think I could do that. And then I go up into the room where Wise and Bell's room is, and I'm
yeah.
like, I think I could replicate this whole room too. To the point where I'm like, no, no, no. You need to simmer down. You don't have time for this.
Wait,
This
like,
is not
are you a
something you can
carpenter,
dedicate.
Jimmy?
So when I worked in this, okay. So when I was teaching,
I was like,
uh,
wait, what?
yeah.
Like,
So
you're
when
playing a video game, like, I can make that. I can craft that.
when I was teaching, I ended up in the STEM lab, which
Oh.
is like science, technology, engineering, mathematics. And in there was woodworking. So I ended up learning how
Oh.
to do some pretty decent and basic carpentry.
Oh.
One of my proudest things as a teacher is I helped someone who was blind use power tools.
Wow, how?
So what we did is we would say she said, I want to learn how to cut out the first letter of my name. And I said, great. Here's how we're going to do it. You need to create the pattern. So I had her set out the paper and set out the materials that were needed. So there was me and there was another assistant, and we both helped her create the pattern. Then we had her select the wood. The wood was placed before her. She was had to trace on her own, figure all of that out. Then when it came time to the actual cutting, we said, this is how you clamp it down. Here's your C clamp. We would clamp down the wood, and then we would use the jigsaw and we would help to guide. We would say, good, you've cut a little bit. Now we're going to stop. So we would take it out and I would say, now feel where you're going. Does it feel straight? Yes, no. And then I would say, okay, so now we need to figure out where it is again. So then we would put the jigsaw back in and then we would keep cutting. And I would help to guide her. Once all of it was cut out, then we would have her do the electric sanding all on her own. She electric
Wow.
sanded it. Then she even, once it was done there, I think we used polyurethane to coat it so it had a nice smooth finish. She did a wonderful job. She
Well,
really did. For the most part, all by herself. The only thing I did was help guide with the jigsaw, and that was it. And she was so sweet, such a kind person too. She was wonderful. I hope she's doing well.
wow, that is very interesting. Like I wouldn't even I would be so scared to like teach someone like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it was because you're like, this is a very potentially dangerous scenario.
You're right.
So I need to make sure that I'm, on it and doing everything I can to make sure that everyone is safe and that we create something beautiful.
That's amazing. So then like from there, carpentry.
Yeah, and then I would do stuff on my own. Like I would figure out a way to create small art pieces, or I actually did. Oh God, what do I have anything in here? No. I created some gifts and art for my wife. I learned how to do minor jewelry making in there as well.
Wow.
So some of the kids would make jewelry and I would have to teach them how. So I made some jewelry for my wife as well.
Oh,
I
that's
went
cute.
with a steampunk style art with like skulls and clocks on the piece. And you know, it was my first time at this. So it didn't come out amazing. Like I did this, it was like a hair clip
Uh-huh.
here, but it had like the clock pieces going around and a
Oh, that's
skull in the
sick.
middle. It looked awesome. Problem was, it was so heavy that it would just like fall down in your head. I'm
Uh
like, next time. I'll get it next time. I'll
you
figure
gotta
it
think
out.
about the like, I don't know, the what is it? Not aerodynamics, but you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I didn't account for the weight of the thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
The physics.
but yeah, I school didn't stop for me when I started teaching. Is basically what ended up happening. I ended up
Mm.
learning, woodworking, um, soldering, minor electronics, computers. The list goes on. The list goes
Wow.
on. Yeah,
That's awesome.
just
And all from
don't
like,
stop
you know,
learning,
one
basically.
stop, yeah, one point, and then it just goes like branches off to different ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool. Do you have like furniture in your house that you made yourself?
No, mostly because I don't have the time to do anything like that. And it's been a while since I've started to do woodworking, so I would need to refresh and go at it. And, the chair will probably come out like this at first, and I'll be like, oh, I got to do that again. But.
Right, right.
But, anyway, back to ZZZ.
Hmm.
Uh, So I'm level 32 and my mains currently are Grace. So I, I
Ah.
I'm desperate to pull. I'm desperate to pull, but I'm waiting for the next banner because I think Evelyn's gonna be in it. And I'm like, I gotta pull for
Oh
Evelyn
yeah,
because I
Evelyn. Oh yeah.
I I played it's like where you get to do the trial run of the heroes.
Oh, yes, yes,
And
yes.
I got to play with Astra and Evelyn and who was the other one that I was messing around with? Jane Doe.
Mm.
And
Oh, Jane. Mm.
and I was playing through all of them, and all I had to do was push the attack button, and Evelyn started like sending out fire whips everywhere,
Yeah, yeah,
and I'm like,
she's
"This
awesome.
is amazing!
Yeah.
I need to pull for her." And apparently, she's going to be here next banner. Supposedly, I don't know. They don't put me in any sort of loops, so
Right,
that's
right.
the rumor. And I'm probably going to pull for her, and then debate whether I'm going to save for Hugo and Lighter and Lycon and
Oh my
everything.
gosh, yes, yes. Yeah, actually, like, I was playing Zenless as well, and then my chat told me to pull for Miyabi. Miyabi's a really strong one. Basically, you push
She
one
was so
button.
cool.
Yeah, you push one button, and then you're like, you're done. Like
Yeah,
everyone is just completely gone. But
yeah, she was awesome.
yeah.
I want to pull for her too, but I'm like, I don't have this many pulls.
So, like, how did you then get acquainted with the game, and like, what made you? I'm assuming when you got the audition, it didn't say what it was.
I didn't know what it was for necessarily. I didn't know it was for Zenless. So you just sort of figure out the characters, kind of get an idea. You might have an idea of what it's for, and you just figure because all games have a different style. So Zenless has its own style. Genshin has its own style. A God of War has its own style. The style of acting changes, the way you speak, the way you deliver your lines, everything changes because it is a different artistic style. So you kind of get, when you get that audition in front of you, you take a look at the script, you try to figure out the settings, the scenario, your the way the characters would speak, um, any accents or anything you might need, and then you just sort of go for it. When I first auditioned for Hugo, Hugo wasn't up here. He was down here when I first did it. And then they said, "We loved your character. We love the way you did it. But can you pitch it up a bit?" So I did. And then I didn't hear anything for a while, and they were like, "Congratulations, you got it." I was like, "Oh, right, this is exciting." Because I didn't think I would book someone like Hugo because I thought it would go to a tenor, basically, someone who was a much higher pitch
Oh,
than myself.
right, right. Yeah, Hugo's voice is quite, I guess, higher than your current talking voice.
Yeah, he's So, and I purposefully made Hugo because when you listen to people, people don't just speak at one note that
Right.
whole way. They're not constantly like this. This isn't how someone speaks the entire time. They might go down a little when they speak, and they might go back up a little. A good example of that is go listen to Mark Hamill's Joker.
Oh
if you
yeah.
if you pay attention to Mark Hamill's Joker, he's not always in high-pitched Joker mode. You'll hear him go down into this sort of like deep gravelly range. Every now and again, you'll hear him. He has an up and down to it. And that's important because that's what helps to create a dynamic character.
Right. 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 Yeah, that's super cool. Like I mean, obviously voice acting, like you have to have that range, right, in order to audition for any kind of maybe even like a dog or something, right?
hmm
Yeah.
I've been a dog too. So one of my first commercials that I ever did was for Hello Fresh,
Oh,
and
Hello
I'm
Fresh. That's
yeah, yeah,
amazing.
I
All
am
this lore.
a golden retriever puppy, I
Wait, why
think is
would you
what it is.
why would they need a voice for that?
So what it is it's one of those things where you're speaking as the mind of the dog.
Oh, okay, okay,
And
okay.
I can't remember the script, but it was like, I'm super excited to eat. Oh, that looks delicious,
Oh my
is sort
god.
of like basically the feel of the commercial.
Right, right. That's I just think of the storyboard. It's like, okay, guys, great idea. We're gonna be in the mind of a dog
Yeah,
for
that's
like Hello
essentially what it is.
Fresh. Amazing. That's absolutely amazing. But yeah, so like since you do like play the game as well, and you talked about just now the efforts, right? Efforts.
Mhm.
Yeah. So is there any specific like line or I mean like efforts or whatnot that you like kind of enjoy hearing yourself do for Hugo? And yeah, like anything that had really a lot of fun acting out.
Mhm. Mhm. Any of his flirty lines, any of his flirty lines. I adore doing them because they're fun to do. So the one where he's spoiler alert. So the one where he's in basically the storage bin and he's leaning back and he's all bloody
Oh
after
yeah.
fighting his demons and he's like, "What? No praise for me, my dearest partner." I literally when I recorded it, I was like doing this sort of thing as I was doing it, just to make sure it sounded like I was not because when he does it, I think he's looking to the left. So
Hmm.
I was like looking to the left and I leaned back because subtle physical body movements can change the way your voice sounds. And you don't always get that luxury. So, like, if I'm in front of the microphone and, I'm up in someone's face, I will literally get in someone's face like this. Or if I'm like back like this, sometimes I've recorded auditions where I've literally been like this. I have like my foot up on the desk and I'll sit here like this and be like, "Hey, how you doing? Are you good?" That sort of thing. So that you have a more relaxed, natural sound to it
Mm,
rather than standing in front of the mic and trying to be like, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on?" It might not have, there are weird inflections and subtle nuances that
right.
happen that you pick up on when
Right.
you're listening. So physicality helps.
Interesting. So then, like in the script, though, does it say like Hugo is on the box or whatever, or it just has?
Uh, Sometimes, and
Oh,
and that's why you have your beautiful directors helping you out, saying, "Here's where you are. Here's what's happening. Now you're on the ground on all fours.
uh,
There might be blood is running down your face, or you're at a party and you're a little tipsy, sort of thing. So add in a little tipsy. Oh, fun tip for when the best way to be drunk is to pretend you're not drunk.
wait, what?
Yeah, drunk
Isn't that just
people.
being normal?
Yeah, drunk people do their best to appear sober. So
Harada,
that's
Harada.
I'm not, no comment.
We should ask Harada this.
No comment.
Do
We're
you
good.
try to act sober? I've seen you shit faced drunk.
We'll say that for off the air.
that'll be the next podcast. So what we'll do is we'll all do shots and we'll go toe to toe and we'll see how we go and we have to pretend to be sober as we're doing it and see and then everybody will know. They'll be like, "Oh, there it is. There they are. Now they're drunk."
No, but Jimmy, you underestimate Harada. Like he can go, like he
Okay.
can.
We can change the subject.
Yeah.
We can change the subject. This is about Jimmy. We're talking about
Right, right,
Jimmy.
right, right, right. Anyway, let's go back to how to act drunk by acting sober.
Yeah, it's a weird because if you just come out like this, it doesn't feel as authentic. But if you're like, no. So what I'm saying to you is that we need to get a car and we need to go to Taco Bell because that is what we really need. Is you're grabbing their that is what we really need right now. Some Taco Bell. Okay? God, you're beautiful. Let's go. So you want to
Me in college.
get that cheesy gordita crunch,
Oh,
Or spicy burritos.
spicy burrito.
yeah, like super tangent when they opened Taco Bell in Japan. Like, so I mean, Taco Bell in America, it's like, oh, who goes to eat Taco Bell unless you're drunk as shit, right? But like in Japan, when they opened Taco Bell, I think the line was like 3 or 4 hours.
Oh my gosh, that's a long line.
Yeah, but
Might be worth it though, depending on how many drinks you've had.
anyway, sorry, going back to being drunk.
Tangents.
Yeah. So then what was the connection to this in Hugo?
Taco Bell and Hugo. Oh, we were talking about physicality and acting, and
Right.
I was leaning back when I did the
Yes,
one
yes.
line. Favorite
Oh,
lines,
because
favorite
no,
lines,
favorite
favorite
lines, and
lines.
also the script. If the script has like cues, like Hugo is on a box bleeding.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And generally, you will have a little something. So in a dubbing script, and what you do depends. So some of the lines aren't dubbed, you're just doing the line, and then some of them there are. So for example, in the scene where I'm fighting Lycon and Wise or Bell like goes to be like, no, you need to stop fighting, that was all dubbed. So you have to listen watch listen, and then you do it, and then once that's done, they'll try to match the audio up with the words, and they might need to do a little magic, and then we'll see how it sounds. And then they'll be like, no, that needs to be stronger. That needs to be softer. You need to remember that you're fighting, so be a little more out of breath, have a little more weariness to your voice. So you'll get subtle changes, then you try it again. We do it again, we match it up, and then they'll go, yes, perfect. All right, next. And sometimes, literally, your entire dub might just be, and that's it. So you have to match that. And it can't be too long, it can't be too short sometimes. Because if you just go, that might not be right. So you might need to go. So that's dubbing. And if you're good at music, so if you're a musician, chances are you're going to be pretty good at dubbing because a lot of it is rhythm based. So the line in the other language might go da 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 da, and then in English you would be able to match the rhythm and the cadence accordingly. The acting comes in when you need to be able to show the emotion, the inflection, the power of the performance through while simultaneously attempting to match the rhythm. Dubbing is very challenging. It's an art form in itself.
But usually when you get like role or the script, is the cutscene already done? Like, is it
Yes.
created? Oh, okay. So
For the most part,
mm,
sometimes you'll get line drawing stuff.
oh,
But for the most part, the scene is done, or it might be in its like, I guess I don't know the terminology, the jargon for the artistic part of it, but it might be in that alpha build of
mm.
the whole sequence sort of thing. So you'll at least see where it is, and they'll be like, okay, you have 3.6 seconds to say this line, and you got to hit it within like 3.5 or 3.7 so that they can either squish or expand it.
Oh, so then they would, I mean, in post they might
Yeah,
speed it up.
yeah.
Oh, fascinating. Um, yeah, that's super cool. Like, I remember like previous voice actors we've talked to, like John Bentley, like when he was dubbing for Final Fantasy VII, he said that like sometimes it's just like you have to just copy what the Japanese dub did, and
Mhm.
then or sometimes it's like there's no cutscene, and you just have to kind of like figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. And keep in mind, for a lot of so a lot of the anime coming out of Japan, people get to record as a group, right?
Oh yes, an ensemble recording.
We don't get to do that.
Right.
It's literally just you alone, and then the director and the engineer and the client, and maybe a lore master for the game,
Mm.
and you just gotta go for it. So you don't necessarily get to act off your other actors. If you're lucky, you have a director who is an actor and can give you some of the emotional context,
Right.
especially if they've already recorded the other person. You get to know what the context is, and then that'll help you move things forward with the performance.
Right. 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 Yeah, it's very interesting. I think we have a section about that later in this interview. But going back to Hugo though, for him like as a character, like I mean, since you do play Zenless, but you haven't gotten to Hugo yet. Like, what do you think
Not
of
yet.
him as a character when you were like acting as him, and how like what do you think about his story in general? Like, is he a character that you resonate with, or is like a character that you don't really personally like resonate with, or
There's always a lot of times for actors, there's always a piece of them in the performance, and there definitely is with Hugo. Um, Hugo was so he is kind of similar a little bit in some cases to Toru. He
mm,
had some level of abandonment. He lost all the people he loved, sort of thing. But the only difference between Hugo is it was in such a dark, wicked setting where people were constantly against him. People were there were lies. There were death and betrayal, and it 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 broke him a little. It broke him. Hugo was Hugo was challenging because he I think desires to be viewed as a villain, but he's not. He wants that because the portrayal of the villain um, breeds respect, which is why he does some of the things he does. He always has a goal in mind, and it always generally seems to be for the greater good. That's why he's that whole anti-hero. He's willing to do some of the darker things that others might not in order to make things better, in order to make things a success. Um, oh, one of the fun things that I got to do is when he was fighting his inner demon, we recorded that almost as like a monologue. It
mm.
was literally just good Hugo, bad Hugo, good Hugo, bad Hugo, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it was literally, if I remember correctly, it was us recording good Hugo, then I would switch to bad Hugo and do that. Then I would switch back to good Hugo and do that again. It was intense, and it was probably the most challenging part of doing Hugo was that whole scene.
Did you have to do like many takes for it?
No, no. Thankfully, I think for the most part, it was just generally when we do this, they'll say do an ABC. The jargon for voice acting, ABC means do it three different ways.
Oh.
In this particular case, I think we did an AB. So it was just do it once, do it again. Are we good? Good. Move on to the next one. Do it once, do it again. Good. Move on to the next one. And the thing I don't know if a lot of people do. Some people do because they watch interviews and things
Mm.
like that. We get the script 2 minutes before we start. We don't get to
Oh.
read it. We don't get to figure out the character. We don't have months to sit there and build out backstory. We don't have any of that. It's literally this is your character. Here's the scenario. This is your brother. This is your sister. Everybody's a mess. The world's on fire. Go. And you just got to shift and go.
Like okay, no context at all, but okay.
Mm. I mean, they'll give you backstory. They'll be like,
uh,
this is the world. It's a fantasy world.
uh,
Here's the meaning to this word. Here's the meaning to that word. But we don't sit down for like a couple of hours and flesh things out and figure it out.
mm.
It's literally all happens in the span of less than 5 minutes. And then they're like, do it. So most of the performances you see in your video games are their first or second try for the most
Wow.
part.
And then so like if you land it, then it's like okay, let's go to the next one.
pretty much because we're under a clock.
Oh, I
Hmm.
see, I see. And I know Harada, you've done like directing before as well, right? So like it's kind of similar.
Yeah, yeah. It's you know, it all depends on just the overall budget that we allocated for, for all of this, especially because you have to take into account that, there's, localization for everything, right?
Right.
So and within timing, and usually it's with an agency, and if it's down in LA and everything like that. So, and there have been times, and I won't say which projects or anything, but there's been times where it's coming down to the wire, and like we have to also come up like, what do we want to hear, and then we'll have to write
Oh.
it. So apologies, Jimmy.
It's
Sucks.
okay. Hey, that's
That's all I
part of
can
it.
say.
We just roll with it and go.
Yep.
Wow,
It's
that
showbiz, baby.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
Showbiz, baby.
Time is money. But that's very interesting though. So do you actually like when you do land your role? Obviously they tell you like, oh, you're the voice of like Hugo or like this guy in this fantasy punk world or whatever cyberpunk world. But like, do you do any research of like the character psyche, like, or like do you kind of try to
It
like think
depends.
about what the character's thinking of?
Sometimes, if you're lucky, they'll give you something beforehand. So they'll
Mm,
give you a quick snippet or a bio or some backstory, some world lore. So you read all that. And if it's already an existing IP, then you can go out and do the research all you want.
right,
But if
right.
it's a brand new thing or they're very hush hush on it, you got nothing. So you kind of just go with what you've got, go with your gut, and go with all your training, and then you just go for it. And a good director will help steer you, so you don't have to worry too much. But for me, I honestly use music a
Oh.
lot. So if it's a recurring role like Hugo, as soon as I figured out what it was, the property, what was going on, um, there's music that I could associate. So I
Oh,
would just put
interesting.
on the Zenless soundtrack so that I could get a feel for the style of what they were going for, the emotional context, the feeling. Then I
Mm.
would watch. Some streamers would have like them playing, and I could watch the world, figure out what was going on,
Oh.
laugh a little because the streamer's hilarious, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It makes it an enjoyable process.
Mm.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's actually interesting that you brought up music because for at least me, when we have enough time, and also if we have more, for example, if I have more creative direction over the roles and characters, I do make playlists.
Hmm.
Oh.
They're not tied to
Good.
the game, but actually opposite. So like, because I don't want them to think about the game. A, they can't because we give them code names, so they don't even know what large IP or whatever that they're working on.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a pre-existing IP, we don't want any leaks. But just give like the most random stuff from like anything from like Katy Perry to all these other type of songs. Like it's a little bit goofy, but it's supposed to fit like the overall vibe and the essence of the characters, and
Mm.
also
It
a color.
helps.
I also just say like what kind of color or shade, as well,
Oh.
just to think about it, to kind of dab into it. But that's just how I normally do it. And also we have stuff that I'm sure you've experienced with Jimmy, but like right, and you've
Yeah.
also experienced Audrey, but like
Mm.
it's nothing to do with the actual IP, but we're just looking for, as Jimmy said, like the ABCs and
A
everything
mood
like that.
board, basically.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. And
Mm.
it helps. It helps a lot. And
Mm.
then if you need to maintain a character like Hugo, the music helps to do the memory recall for it. So
Oh.
one of the biggest helping things for me was uh I recorded a bunch of stuff. Hugo came out in some of the story, and then I got to hear his boss music, which was awesome. And so I would listen to the boss music before I went to record again because it gave me the feeling of what he was like again.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of like Zenless's soundtrack is awesome. I personally like the
Oh, it's so good.
dubstep. I'm not a big fan of dubstep, but like when you're like fighting and you're in the hollow, and then you're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah, it
this
feels
is,
good. It
yeah, it's
feels
like
good.
yeah, let's do this. I'm jamming to this. But yeah, the OST is great. But that's really interesting how that it's like you kind of just take random, songs and just like kind of build like the mood for it, right?
Yeah, yeah. And also like if there's like actors or anything else from like shows or whatever, like
Mm.
what characters would they be based off of or anything like that. I don't know what I can say or can't say about anything, so I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah,
So
it
that
makes
way I don't
sense.
get a call later about like, why'd you say this?
No,
I
no,
can
no.
jump in on so when you get an audition script, a lot of the time you will get it's like Walter White. It's like It's like Cloud. It's like Sephiroth. It's like Toru Honda or something like that.
Mm.
These are the This is kind of how the character is. It does not mean do an impression of that character. That is not what it means. What it means is this is who the character feels like or is similar to. Don't do a copy. Create something new that has a feeling to like that. That's what it means.
Right, right, right. It's just kind of like inspired, I guess, by like
Yes,
in,
yes.
in
This should
sense.
be an inspiration for it.
Right, but not that
Within the
character,
realm.
because yeah, because
Yeah.
that's like then that's just copying.
Hmm.
Right, right, right. That's very interesting.
Congrats, Jimmy, you're hired for whatever. There you go, baby.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Very cool. But yeah, I guess we can move on to the next part, huh? Harada.
Yeah, so you basically definitely covered a lot about Yasuo, and again, congratulations for that.
Oh, thank you.
Especially with how you were able to acquire the role and the overall journey for that. I'm just a little bit curious. You touched on a little bit the different, like basically the difference between Eastern and Western. Is
Mm.
there, how was acting, the voice acting for such an action-packed game outside of like the grunts and everything like that? Was there anything different from how you experienced with such a title like that versus your other roles?
Okay. Fighting game is going to be I would say like 90% efforts. And then, you have like the things where the characters meet up and then they say like one line to each other. And then you go back into the fighting
Right.
game. Fighting game recording is very similar to MOBA style game recording. So when I recorded Z Long, that was perfect practice for doing this because it was all very, very similar. You would have a line or a call out for your ultimate or something like that. They're very similar in the way that you do the recording. The thing that you need to be careful about when you are doing something like this, all these efforts are very strenuous and take a toll on your vocal cords. And without proper training, proper breath support, proper all of that, you might be overexcited and overdo it. And you might fry your vocal cords, which is what I did, and I don't want you to do that. So if you are newer to the industry and you have that excitement, you have all that, please make sure that you get the appropriate training. Please make sure you understand and please make sure you take care of your voice because I did a role a while ago that never came out. And I fried my vocal cords because, you're excited, you got the role, you give it everything you've got, fried it. And now it's semi-permanent damage
Oh.
to the point where you'll hear it occasionally in when I speak, when I sing, when I do stuff like that. It'll sound a little bit like a blown speaker, where you'll hear a little bit of a rattle in a very certain frequency of my vocal
Oh.
cords. So you need to be careful.
And that was from like just some kind of like grunts or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, because the character was so high energy that I had to maintain that high energy, and that caused damage because I didn't do it in an appropriate way because I was too excited to have the role because I was new, I was just getting my feet wet, and you want to do your best. You want to put a good foot forward. You want to show that you can do the work, and doing the work that never comes out and permanently damaging your vocal cords is not worth it.
Right.
So make sure that you pay attention to what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, I mean, like we were talking about ranges just now, and yeah, like for Hugo, and you also, I saw that you posted that you got a role in Zenless for the agent. I think it was like some kind of agent.
Oh God.
Yeah, which is like super different vocal range. So I was just curious, like, is it easier for you within your capabilities to go high, like to record a character that has a higher voice, or better for you
Lower.
to record a lower voice?
So in my life, when I interact with people, a lot of times, so if I'm meeting someone, I'll be like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Jimmy. It's nice to meet you. Do you hear how my voice is higher?"
Yeah.
The whole reason my voice is pitched up like that, this right here, and it's not generally loud. I'm even doing it right now. This is my normal speaking voice.
Oh.
This right here is where I feel the most comfortable, is down here. But I pitch my voice up like this because I've intimidated people. They were like, "Whoa, oh, your voice is," and they like backed away because my voice was. So I intentionally pitch my voice up like this to be less intimidating. I don't know it, and now it's just so natural. This speaking range is
Oh,
not my actual speaking voice. And
so
what's it, that the natural this down here, my natural speaking voice is even deeper when I first wake up. So it
yeah.
literally just sounds like the rocks are moving.
So then, when you were younger, like that was your like your go-to,
Uh,
or not
I
go-to, but like
I
your norm.
I had, I would say, the second or third lowest voice in my group of friends. There was like one or two guys that were way deeper than I am, but that was it. That's where they sat. Their voice range didn't go up at all.
Oh,
So when I was in choir, select choir, men's choir, I was a bass is where they put me. But honestly, my singing voice is more like baritone to bass than it is like true bass.
oh, you how long were you in choir for?
Oh, of like 5 years, something like that.
Like during sorry, high school
That
or
was high school. Yeah,
oh
that was
yeah,
high
yeah.
school. And then, through college, it was like musical theater, stuff like that.
Oh, very cool. So then when you're like acting for characters, I guess like it's easier for you obviously to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I prefer lower voices, but most of the roles are young, higher pitched.
Yeah.
I would say it's like a 60-40. So
Mm.
60% are younger, 18 to 20, 21 to 25, slightly baritone up into tenor, as opposed to down here, which they don't necessarily want. This would be like the thug, the monster, the big guy,
Right, right, right.
the guy where smoke's billowing behind him, that sort of thing.
Right, right, right. Yeah, because like they when you were doing like the agent, for example, like in Zenless Zone Zero, like how do you make sure you don't like damage your core since you're usually a lower voice?
That's when you get really excited, your pitch naturally goes up. So I
Oh,
just got excited. Are you talking about the one where he's like,
yeah,
"Woo!"
yeah, exactly. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah. So that is just like going up into the falsetto sort of thing, and
Oh yeah,
woo.
like crazy.
Someone asked like, "What's what was you're a physicality actor? What was your exact physicality for that?" I'm like,
Like,
"What you see
ooh.
there is what I did."
Like a method actor, is it? Was that what it's called?
Yeah, it's method act. I'm not a method actor, but it does, so basically, they're like your professionally trained actors. They're like, I went to Juilliard, I went to Oxford or something like that. I studied Meisner, I studied Uda Hagen, I studied Stanislavski, I studied. There are all these classically trained actors that have all this training for these specific things and as an art form. The best example I can give is if you've ever seen Samurai Champloo,
Oh yeah, I love that.
there's Jin
Ah,
and
Gene, yeah,
Mugen.
yeah,
Jin is an artist. Nobody can beat him. He is a classically trained fighter. And then there's Mugen, who breakdance fights and got everything because he's a street rat and pulled whatever he could
yeah.
from wherever to learn how to fight. That's me. I'm the street rat who just took whatever acting I could get, squished it all together, and went, here you go.
Wait, so you didn't actually go to school for like because like a lot of people who are going into voice acting they have like training with like a voice acting school or whatever like that, but you actually didn't do that.
So basically, when I went to college, I had a communications degree with a focus in theater. They didn't have an acting degree. It was just a communications degree with a couple of acting classes in it. And then you would do like the plays or the independent plays that were written by the students there, that sort of thing. Um, and then I took voice acting classes here and there with different coaches and teachers, which is something that I highly advise you do if this is something you want to do. You want to get as many different teachers as you can to learn as many different techniques. Take what works for you, get rid of the rest. Or that stuff that you get rid of, set it to the side because it might not be valuable to you now, but it might be valuable later. There is no There is no easy way of doing this. There is no, this is 100% guarantee. It is literally just a constant adaptation, growth, and honing of your artistry. Acting itself is the perfection of the expression of the imperfection of the human spirit. So it is okay to mess up. It is okay to do things wrong. It is
Sorry.
okay to
Perfection
learn
of.
something.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
It, it is the perfection of the expression of the imperfection of the human spirit.
Oh, okay, okay. I was like trying to wrap my brain around that. I was like, that's deep as hell. Wait, I need to hear that again.
So when you start to do this journey, if you decide to take it, and it doesn't matter what journey you're taking, you could be going into art, you could be going into carpentry, you could be going into computer science, anything. It's okay to mess up. It is. And you will. I have messed up hundreds and hundreds of times just doing this. You will mess up a line in a session. Not a big deal. You just start again, do it again. The only time you truly fail is when you decide to stop.
Right,
That is when the failure happens.
right.
It is very much like engineering. The thing doesn't get invented uh, when you stop trying to invent it. The only way to come up with the invention is to keep trying.
Right, 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 exactly. Very cool. Yeah, I was like
So,
philosophy. Go ahead, how did I?
no, no, I mean, just diving in a little bit more into that. So, are there any specific kind of roles in animes or games that you would feel especially connected, you to when auditioning?
Um, the eccentrics. I don't know why. As soon as I see an eccentric, I go, oh, I understand you. Villains, I like auditioning for a lot because most of the time, if they're a villain, the thing about doing villains is villains don't think they're the bad guy. They think they're the good guy, even if they're doing bad things.
Right.
So that's one of the best ways to view a villain as you are doing an audition or performing it. They don't see themselves as the villain. Now, of course, you're going to get some villains that are very, I'm going to commit evil. Um, you're going to get those, and those are like the caricatures, and they're fun to do. They really are. But the some of the best villains, the villains we love the most, are the ones who are very deep, very they're very three-dimensional.
Yeah.
When you have to perform a villain, that's why everybody loves to perform villains, because they're so intricate and you have to uh, really, really go for it, really try, think about it, think about why you're doing it. Oh, they're so much fun. Those are the ones I like to do the most.
So you like gravitate to kind of like villainry.
Mhm. Also, the deep voice helps.
Yes, yes. But I mean, there are like like Joker, like you mentioned, right? That has range. That like
Yes.
helps with the
Yeah.
reading the character, right? So that's very interesting. What was like your biggest obstacle then when you're trying to get into the industry and taking on character roles? Like, was it like choosing?
Oh.
I guess like was there a point where you had to like kind of self reflect, like, okay, like I can do this, or you're just kind of like I'm gonna try everything.
So when I first started, the reason I started so late, the technology wasn't there yet. I wouldn't have been able to do what we're doing now when I first wanted to start doing this. They said, you have to move to LA.
Oh yeah,
And
right.
I was like, I don't think that's going to happen right now because I need health insurance. So I can't.
Mhm.
Thankfully, technology moved along and now I can. So that's part of the reason that I was delayed.
Got it.
That and, I was an idiot and,
Just looking,
didn't,
searching
I could,
for searching.
yeah, yeah. I did the young, I'm still searching. Um, Now, my biggest challenge, I still have the desire to audition for some of the young teen protagonists.
Mhm.
But the reality is, I'm not going to get it, more than likely, because of just, I am older, my voice is deeper. These are not, it'll come off as inauthentic if I were to do it. it would be like, oh, that is a mature male trying to sound like they're 13 or
Uh-huh.
15 or 17. There are other actors that are able to do that better, so you have to be able to let it go. You're not going to get everything, and that's okay. You figure out what your niche is and you just sort of go for it. And then once you know what your core is, you can branch out from there and really try to do other things.
So then, yeah, in that case, like, do you kind of like, um, gravitate to a certain like type, of role?
Uh yeah, a lot of the times it's going to be dads, military, warriors, villains, the eccentrics.
Mm-hmm.
Uh I've done a couple of monsters, stuff like that. Um, Detectives, police officer, that
Mm-hmm.
tends to be where I live. So I
Mm-hmm.
got to, one of my bucket list things was to be a noir detective
Mm-hmm.
in a project, and I got to do that with the Silt Verses, which is a horror podcast,
Mm-hmm.
audio drama podcast. And that, God, I loved doing that so much. It was so much fun because when I said you don't normally get to do act across from someone,
Right.
that's like video games, anime. But if you're doing an audio drama podcast, we're all on a Zoom just like we are here, and we're acting as we're going, but we're recording, and then the engineer will splice all our work together.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that was so much fun, and they were so talented.
That's very interesting because, like, in America, that doesn't usually happen.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And it's still one of my favorite projects, the Silt Versus.
Is it like was it a play or is it like just like an audiobook kind of thing?
Think of it like an old school radio drama set in a Lovecraftian horror, is
Oh,
what it's like. The
Lovecraft horror?
Yeah, Lovecraftian style horror, like Cthulhu-y sort of thing. But in this
Mm,
case, think of it like the best way to explain it is think of companies and corporations have a deity aligned with them. And in order to make sure that your thing is successful, sacrifices must be made.
oh, okay, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
That's very interesting.
yeah.
I think you talked a little bit about this already, but so do you do a lot of research for your characters before you go into the recording booth? But like, obviously, sometimes you just get the script like a minute before, right? But if you are able to, like, do you kind of do? How deep do you go?
For the depth of it, you spend as much time as you can get because sometimes they're like, hey, hold this date, and
Mm.
it's a week before, so you got a week.
Mm.
You got a week to go in and do some research the world, research. So let's pretend there's a brand new game coming out.
Mhm.
Um, and it's already based on another IP. So
Mm.
you go research that IP. You
Mm.
research the world, you research the accents, you research um, what the people are like. Is this region warlike? Is this region peaceful? Are these is this community here really family oriented? Because that can change the dynamic of your performance completely. So you just do the best you can so that when you're in the booth, because you might not know, you're ready and you can adapt. Adaptability is very important in this field.
That's awesome. Yeah. I I don't really like research. I'm not a voice actress or anything, but like even for like writing like copy or whatever, I barely do any research.
So, so looking back, which role has been the most meaningful for you, Jimmy, so far? And and overall, though, like we can say everything that we've already talked about, but like ultimately, like what really made it stand out? And like, was it the character's history or just how fun it was to like just play with their voice? Like, what really made it stand out for you? And how'd you like really reflect and like, did you learn anything from it that you've carried on? For ideally future roles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is the Silt Versus. The reason why is because the Silt Versus was a multi-season production. So I really got to figure out who the character was. I got to dive in. I got to get the script ahead of time, read through the script, figure out who they were, then get to act with these amazing actors from all over the world. And it helped me because it was when I actually kind of first started doing voice acting. It was my first chance to really start to figure out proper mic technique, proper acting. Because when you get loud, you have to turn down your gain. So it helped forced me to know, okay, here comes the part, turn down the gain, do the acting, turn it back up, because now I'm softer now. It was the perfect not only training session, but it was an enjoyable experience. I got to work with super talented people. I got to knock something off a bucket list, and the character's name was Hayward, Detective Hayward, is kind of closer to me as a person, I would say. So I got to be introspective as well when I was doing the character. Plus, I got to do some Foley sort of stuff where there was one scene where I had to throw up. So I went out and I got a bunch of moss and I had to set it down in the booth. And then you have to do the sound effects because you want it to be authentic. So if there's ever anything like that now in future projects, I try to make it as accurate as I possibly can. So if I'm throwing up on grass, I go get grass. If I am sipping tea, I will have a cup of tea here so that when I'm holding the tea here, you don't necessarily want to do the sound because
Mhm.
that might not be what they need, but just having the tea here or even close to your face might alter the way it sounds a little bit because that's what it would sound like because my
Oh.
voice is now reflecting off of this into the microphone, so it creates a more authentic feel.
Oh, interesting. But the Foley though, like, sorry, you said you got moss?
Yeah, I went outside, dug up a bunch of moss and grass and whatever, put it into a baking dish
Okay.
so that when I had to do the throw up scene or whatever, sorry if anybody's eating, I would like take a sip of water and then make gross sounds as it hit so that when
Oh,
it hit the grass and
I
it sounded
see.
authentic like it was hitting grass and moss
Gotcha.
because my character was in a field at the
Sorry,
time.
I was like literally thinking that you were doing Foley and like that's
Mhm,
the
mhm.
throw up,
Yeah.
like touching the grass. I was like, oh,
And
interesting. Like,
occasionally you'll do sound effects. They're like, we need this, we need the sound of that. So you'll go and you'll find something that's close to it and like move it around or make that sound just so that they have it in the bank just in case they need it.
right, right, right. Gotcha. That's fascinating. Yeah. Puking on grass.
My finest moment.
It's a lot of dedication. Awesome. Yeah, so like we did talk about this briefly, like you mentioned about the Silt verses and how you guys had like an ensemble voice acting cast. So yeah, in Japan where, I live in Tokyo, so where I'm from, well, I'm not originally from Japan, but like where I live right now, obviously the voice acting industry is very different than the US. But like yeah, in Japan a lot of the time it is actually just ensemble voice acting when they record, so the
That's
character's voice.
incredible. It's incredible. And you can hear it too. You
Yeah.
can tell the difference when everybody's together in the same room doing something like that.
Right, yeah.
There's a certain energy to it.
Right, right, right. So like depending on how many people, like sometimes they have like a group of like 5 6 people or like 2 people, and there's always like kind of they stand in front of a stand, like a like a concert kind of like,
Hmm.
yeah, book stand, and then they do the lines like that, and then that's how they do voice recording. But since in the US, since it is like isolated, and I assume you're doing it in your current booth right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
um
This is my booth right here.
like, has there ever been like a moment where it felt awkward or hard to do a line delivery because you're kind of just working?
Constantly.
Uh, right, right,
Yeah,
right.
it's constant, and it's just one of the normal challenges that you have to go through as an actor. Like you'll get a line, they'll only be able to give you so much context, or they might not even know necessarily what they want with it yet. They're just hoping that uh, the deliveries you give will be usable, or that you will give them what they know they want, but they don't know they want. If that makes sense.
Like, so you're just kind of giving them anything.
Yeah, yeah. So you during the ABC, you might if it's like hey, come over here. You might be like, hey, come over here. And they'll be like, okay, so that delivery means the person's far away, you're calling them over. And then it might be like, okay, but if the person's right next to you and you want to show them something, you might be like, hey, come over here. And that way you'll even physically point down so that it feels for yourself like you're pointing down and you want to show them something. Or
Right.
you might be like flirty with the person, be like, hey, come over here, sort of thing. And all three lines might be viable depending on the situation.
Oh, so they don't actually give you clear direction. You're just like, just give me a line. Just give me like an interpretation.
And it all depends. Most of the time, I would say like 95% of the time, everybody knows exactly what's happening and how it should be done.
Oh, okay.
But every now and again, everyone's, like, somebody hasn't told us what we're supposed to do, but we got to get it recorded today. So let's do a couple of different things and then we'll send it off. And if we need to do pickups later, we'll do it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So then, yeah, like I mean, obviously you're doing it alone, so you can only work so much like with
Yeah.
what you have, right?
Hmm.
Right, right. So then, have you ever like, well, we already asked this, but like, with these like challenges, like since you mentioned in the Silversus, like you were able to record with other people, is there challenges in that as well, like by recording in an ensemble?
Yes, particularly in the audio part, because everybody has different microphones, everybody has different audio recording settings and stuff like that. So
Right,
it
right,
puts a
right.
lot of strain on the audio engineer. Also, technology can, just fail. So you'll be in the middle of a really emotional, intense scene, and then Zoom will just go, I don't feel like working anymore, and then just shut down.
Oh
So,
no,
so you
you're
could
like
be
in
in
the
the
most
middle.
like heart
Yeah.
wrenching scene, and you're
And
like,
it could be
oh.
it could be flawless. It could be like your Academy Award winning performance. And Zoom will be like, I'm sorry, we crashed. And you'll be like, I would.
Oh my god, that would suck
Yeah.
so much.
It's happened. It's
Oh
happened. Like someone will
no.
be in a really emotional thing and then their mic will cut out and you'll be like, you can't hear me either. Don't just, did you hit the mute? No, you didn't. You know what? We're going to restart Zoom.
Yeah, yeah. Dang. So yeah, the technology would probably be the challenges
Yeah.
then.
That ends up being the biggest obstacle.
So then most of your recording is done like I guess remotely.
Yeah, for the most part, I'd say 95% is remote, and every now and again, I got to fly out to LA or travel into New York or something like that.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, so because I know like when we were talking with Ray a couple years ago, I think like maybe 2 3 years ago, yeah, Harada, with our thing, he mentioned like you should, and ProZD also mentioned like you, if you're starting out in voice acting, like you got to move to LA, and I was like that's quite a big hurdle, right?
It is financially and everything, especially if you already have an established life. This is how you survive. You have your dental, you have your health insurance, you have a lease, you need to take care of your parents, you need to take care of family. Just dropping everything and going to LA sounds very romantic, but isn't always realistic. So I am a good example that you can still do this without moving to LA. It is still possible, but I promise you that it will be a challenge. You might suffer, and it will be exhausting. But there are huge benefits to being able to do this.
Right.
And the joy you feel when you are doing a scene and you know you've nailed it, there is no other feeling like that. That's why everybody does acting, because when you it's that state of zen no mind. So if you're a sports person, you know when you're playing and you're playing flawlessly and nobody can stop you. When you're acting and you're just in the zone and you are the character and the person across from you is doing the same and you just put on a brilliant performance, that feeling is spectacular. That's one of the huge perks of doing this.
Yeah, it's like high return.
Yeah, high return,
Yeah.
very high return.
Do in the voice acting booth, like does the director ever go like, "Wow, that was great"?
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
good. I thought
And
they
that's
just
a
like
good
had
that
a like
that
no expression.
that is a good
Back to Jimmy.
feeling. So I had one thing that I did where I threw everything I had at it. I just went in and I did it. And the director went, uh, well, okay. Okay. All right. So for this next part, we're going to. I was like, okay. So I guess I did okay.
Oh, good. They were like so shocked. They were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
all right, we're good."
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm sure that there's also moments where the director is just kind of like, "Oh, like you're not getting it," and you
Yeah.
just have to
And
like,
you're gonna have the moments where you're gonna do it, and they're gonna be like, can you be a little brighter? Which means like a little happier and make it shine a little more. And you'll do it, and they'll be like, no, can you make this word brighter, but the rest the way you did it before? And you'll do your best to make that word brighter, and they'll be like, no, you made that word brighter, but you didn't do the way you did it before. And the longer that keeps going on, the worse you feel inside. Sort of thing, because you're like, oh God, why can't I get this right? And you know what? It happens to pretty much everybody. So you don't need to completely beat yourself up about it. You are going to have moments where you just either don't get it or you do the best you can, or the director will be like, yeah, sure, move along. And you feel like garbage for a little while and then you move forward and keep going.
yeah. I mean, that's just what it is, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
yeah,
just it is what it is. And
yeah.
I'm pretty certain it happens to everybody. Right? Right? It happens to everybody, right?
You're like sweating in the booth.
This is a common thing.
No, but yeah, I'm sure that like there's just you got to do what you got to do, right? Like the
Yeah,
director
yeah.
also needs to like get that role or get that line delivered correctly, right? So sometimes it's kind of like, has there ever been like a time where like they're actually frustrated?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that'll happen too. And there's infinite factors. It might be you. It might be because they haven't eaten and they've been working for 16 hours.
oh
So they're frustrated and they just want to get this done so that they can go home and go to bed. It is an infinite number of factors. And in the entertainment industry, you might be working from 6 a.m. to 1 in the morning.
God,
It's just how it goes.
that's insane. Yeah. I actually used to work in film as well, and like you get calls at like 4 a.m. Hey, we need to get a film, like we need to film the sunrise. I'm like, do I have to do it? Can someone else do it?
Yeah, yeah, and that's just kind of the way it is.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's why I kind of like left. I used to work a little bit in Hollywood when I first graduated, so like I totally understand like that crazy schedule. It's
Especially the call. We need you right now.
like, wait, it's like
Okay.
4 a.m. What are you talking
Oh yeah.
about?
I'm running on 30 minutes of sleep. All right, I'll be right there.
Yeah, exactly. So I get that. Yeah, that's it's difficult, but the high return again, good
Yeah,
payoffs,
very
right?
high
Yeah.
return.
Exactly. Going back to like Japan's culture of like voice acting. So in Japan, voice actors and actresses, voice talent, they are sort of like idols. Like it's kind of like idol culture here, where they go and like attend events, and they also sing and dance, and they just do a lot of like other things aside from what they do, as a voice talent. And yeah, I was just wondering, like, in Japan, since like these voice talent do all this stuff, like if you were to have that opportunity, would you also want to? Would you be able to like sing? Like you mentioned, you were
Yeah.
in choir, like so obviously you can sing, but like
I
dancing and
I would do it. Let me be very clear. I am not a triple threat. For those of you who don't know what that means you can sing, act, and dance. I can sing well, I can act, and I can move well, if that makes sense. I can dance, and I have no problem with dancing. I enjoy dancing. But it's not like, I trained at all. It's just one of those things where you dance, you have fun, and you go about it. Like if someone was like, "Hey, Jimmy, we're gonna get a bunch of the ZZZ people, and we're gonna emulate Idol from K-pop. You want in?" I'd be like, "Yeah, let's do it. Come on,
I
demon me up. I'm in."
know. Wait, are we talking about K-pop Demon Hunters? We're talking about K-pop Demon
Yeah,
Hunters.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Amazing, absolutely amazing. But you know what? Maybe they'll give you a call, and you need to go to like
Now that I've said it, people are gonna be like, "Everybody, get everybody on the horn. We're getting this happening. Everybody, start adding everybody."
the next Billy World expo in China. Like you're gonna be there with like the entire China ensemble as well.
What? See, I'm a little lucky. My mom was a Broadway dancer, so I'll be like, Here's the choreography, teach me. And I will do nothing but practice the choreography until that time. So if it ever happens, I'll be ready.
That's awesome. So going back, not going back, but like on that tangent. So you've watched K-pop Demon Hunters
Yes, yes, multiple times. And my
multiple
daughter,
times.
my daughter, anytime we get in the car now, it's K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh, golden.
Ironically, she's not a huge fan of Soda Pop. I'm like, I kind of want to listen to it. Can we just play Soda Pop,
Oh my
please?
god, that's amazing. What's your favorite song from it?
Golden's
Oh
still
yeah.
my favorite.
Oh hell yeah.
Idol is a close second though.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when I so I'm one of the type of people, I forget the name of the exact terminology. But there's a specific word for people who get goosebumps when they listen to music.
Oh, that's me. I
That
get that all the time.
when certain music plays, I'll get the goosebumps. When a highly emotional part comes, I'll start to tear up.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's not like I'm choosing to do it, it just happens.
Same. Is that
That
a
sort of
there's
thing.
a word for that?
Yes, yeah. I
Oh.
forget what it's called specifically. Maybe somebody in chat knows. Chat, does
Does
anybody
chat
know what?
know the word that you get if you get goosebumps when you listen to music? I thought I
Yeah,
was just emotional. Prison?
yes, that's it. That's it. That's the word.
Oh, I had no
Um,
idea.
when I heard Golden for the first time, I got all that.
Oh,
It
same.
happened,
Oh
and
yeah,
it
so
was
good.
just it's arguably one of the best pop songs to come out in a long time.
Oh, agreed. 100%. Like I think I have it on I don't know. I want to check like how many times I've listened to Golden.
Out yourself.
It's like just
4,206.
yeah, it the no comment on that. Um but that's awesome. Yeah, we just got you we got to get you into the sequel to K-pop Demon Hunt.
Oh, I would love that so much. Oh, I would love that so much. Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah, and I think that they wanted to make like a trilogy, so there could be more opportunities.
Oh, there's a chance. There's
Yeah,
a chance.
there's a chance. That's awesome. But yeah, sorry, there's a bit of a tangent there. I'm just kind of curious because, like, yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters was huge, and I'm sure you watched it too. Yeah, Harada?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That's all I'll say about that. And I don't. Well, we can talk later. We can talk offline. So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I
We
watched it
streamed, yeah. So
twice,
we're
and
good.
yeah, it was great. I love it. I love it. It was so good. I was kind of mad at it didn't win the best song at the VMAs, but alas.
Stolen from them.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Harada.
Oh yeah, so going back a little bit, especially, I know we dabbled a little bit when talking about localization and everything like that. So when recording, from a traditionally like Japanese or another language, to English for whether it's anime or video games or what have you, what's the biggest challenge you face when matching lip movement? I know you mentioned like it's a lot like music and everything like that,
Mhm.
but is there any other things that people might face, especially newcomers who are, very much focused on anime, as well as, have there been times where you adjusted a line from the original script? I know that's very rare. We actually, from personal experience, I know that
Mhm.
there was
Mhm.
a line adjusted, and we actually kept it. So I was just curious as to like if there was anything like that where it's changed a bit of an emotional impact or anything.
I haven't gotten anything where I got to change a line in that capacity yet. It's usually small things, like instead of saying we are, I'll say we're, and they're like, yeah, that's fine. Or
Oh.
you change, if the line is like, we're never gonna get there, and you change it to, we're not gonna get there, and they'll be like, no, that works a little better in the context. We'll go with
Oh.
that. That's happened multiple times. Um, Choosing the emotional context in which you are dubbing can be challenging because you'll sit there and you'll watch just the animation and then you'll hear the original voice actor do it and you'll go, am I should I emulate exactly how they are doing it? Is that exactly how should I be adding my own inflection? Should I keep the same exact emotional context? They're rising here like a crescendo. Should I be rising like a crescendo as well? So that's all choices that are made by both the actor, the director across from you, the team, because don't forget, it's not just director, actor, engineer. There's people, the clients there as well. And I call them like the lore master who's there to say, this is the world, this is what we've done, this is the history of the thing. So there's all these people there. And that once you make that choice, then you ship it out and it might be different, it might not. That can be a challenge.
So, and also, sorry for this in advance. With anything, especially if we collaborate in the future and stuff, but with scripts often arriving the day of, have you ever run into one that felt confusing at first and required a little bit of extra effort to visualize the scene and lock into your performance? Again, super sorry. It's just business, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be. A lot of the times because your first take is you figuring out what the heck is going on. Because sometimes your first take is 3 or 4 lines in a row, and they'll be like, I want you to do this as A take, then go back and do it again, the whole thing again as a B take. So a lot of the times they're taking your B take because your A take, you're just trying to figure out what the heck is going on and what the words are even. And you get stumbly occasionally. So you'll sit there. Oh God, what was the word? Uh, Effortlessly. I now
Effortlessly.
hate because it is anything but effortless for me.
Effortlessly.
Yes,
In the word itself.
the word itself,
It's just too hard to. It's
when
just.
put into a sentence, because then you psych yourself out and you fumble it, and then you're like, oh, I'll go back and do it again, and then you fumble it again, and your mind starts to go into panic mode, and you're like, don't mess up the word. So then you go back and you do it. All right, then you gotta try again. And it could take you like 5, 6, 7 takes, and everybody's laughing. They're laughing at you.
Oh
And it's all in good fun. They're not like
no! Yeah,
laughing
no,
at you
yeah,
going,
yeah.
oh, you can't do it. Everyone's like, they're like, you can do it. I know you can do it. And you're like, I know I can do it. I've said it before.
Effortlessly. That is actually
Yeah.
kind of hard to say.
Especially, and sometimes sentences will have words next to each other that are difficult to say in sequence.
Mm.
When you have,
It must be
it could be
great
as rough.
when they can't even deliver it themselves. So,
Oh,
but they want you to. That must be a great feeling.
yeah,
Yeah,
like when you
it's,
line it, when you land it, right?
Yeah.
yeah. Once you finally get it, you're like, okay, and then you move on, and you flub the next line. And you're like, oh God, I'm in a cycle.
But yeah, I mean, it happens, right? Because
Yeah,
yeah, you can't just deliver flawless performances every time. Which I'm
no,
sure
no.
maybe you do, but
No, no, no.
but yeah, you mentioned in a previous interview that you were or not, yeah, with the interview with Chris Mayak that and you also mentioned it today that you were a teacher for children with special needs. So I was
Mhm.
just kind of curious, like, what kind of important values did you learn from that you were able to apply to voice acting?
Patience. It's very simple. It's patience. Um, Patience is going to be the thing that gets you through most of this if you decide to be a voice actor. You need to be patient because you're not going to be like, I'm going to be a voice actor, take 1 or 2 classes real quick, have a nice voice and whatever, book a quick thing, and then become the best star ever. That's not how it works. That happens 0.5% or less of the time. The rest of it is just constantly going, screwing up, redirecting, constantly going. And you might find that acting itself is harder for you. Let me do metaphorically, you could be, some people are geniuses at this. They're like the Sasuke, the Neji, if we're using Naruto.
Mm.
But then you have your Rock Lees. I'm a Rock Lee. I'm not a genius. You just keep working hard over and over and over and over again until something happens. And that you have to figure out what works best for you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, when it comes to like what works out and everything, and especially for the audience that are looking to break into voice acting, what are some of the common mistakes that you see beginners make when starting out in voice acting? You nailed one that like
Okay.
really resonated
Okay.
with me, which was not wanting to go all in, because especially if something
Ooh,
gets canceled and everything like that, and damage your voice. But what advice would
okay.
you truly give to help someone to avoid those pitfalls.
Okay, okay. So for voice acting, I call it like it's sort of like the Triforce of voice acting. There are three things that you want. And there are many more, but these are a good core to start with. You need to have a thick skin because even if you give a flawless performance, someone's going to say some crap about you just because they feel like saying crap about you. So you just have to let it roll off your back, and that's that. You need to be good at cold reading. Cold reading is of the utmost importance. Cold reading means they hand you the script, you can read it and act at the same time. The other one is focus on the acting, not the voice. I am very serious when I say that the voice will come. The acting is what is important. Be a good actor, not a good voice. The best way I've said it before, especially the people who came to the convention. If you're here, hi. Um, think of your acting like a stage light, this bright, brilliant stage light shining on the stage. If you have a weak bulb, nobody's going to be able to see anything on stage anyway. Your acting is that bulb. Your voice is the cellophane, the colored cellophane, the blue, the green, the red that you put in front of it. If the bulb is weak, nobody's seeing any of that anyways. So focus on the acting, not the voice. Also, I highly recommend don't just going up to directors, casting directors, actors, and stuff like that. Do you want to hear my Peter Griffin? Do you want to hear my impression of Vegeta? Do you want to? That's fine. It's good that you can do those, but going up and doing that isn't going to make you famous or anything like that. In being an impressionist is a very particular skill. It's not necessarily a skill I possess, but you might. If you are an impressionist, it's not necessarily as beneficial to be able to do Vegeta's voice, to do Peter Griffin's voice, to do that. I highly recommend if you are an impressionist, if you can do George Clooney, Julia Roberts, Ryan Reynolds, Mickey, Minnie, Daisy, the obscure ones, Pete, Glumgold, Scrooge McDuck, Foghorn Leghorn, things like that. These legacy characters, Winnie the Pooh, stuff like that. If you can create these, have a repertoire of legacy characters, particularly if you are a younger actor, that you can do, you will have a better shot because those impressions. And this comes from Bob Bergen, who is the voice of Porky Pig. The way to know if and I'm going to paraphrase here in kind of how he says it, know how to do Shakespeare as the character, because if you can do that, you got it.
Know how to do Shakespeare as a character, so like Peter
Mhm.
Griffin, but in Shakespearean language.
Yeah.
I
And
see.
not just doing Shakespeare as Peter Griffin as a funny person,
Mm.
but being Peter Griffin in the role of Hamlet,
Oh,
doing it authentically. If
okay.
you can do that, you've got it.
That's amazing. That's yeah. Okay, interesting. But yeah, like I think a lot of people, who are tuning in, like I'm sure they're also really interested in like becoming, voice talent.
Hmm.
So, yeah, for you, like the acting part you said is very important, right? But like, so
Yes.
where did you actually like what kind of like influences did you have that like helped you with your
It was all the different training I got. And when you watch, a lot of us watch anime, we play the video games for enjoyment.
right?
So we're not focused necessarily on the techniques, the way they're doing it. Go back through your favorite stuff if you want to be an actor. Watch how they do it. Watch how the efforts are made. Think about why they're making the choices of saying the line the way they did, the way they did. Some of the best, go watch Arcane.
Oh yeah, so good,
Go watch Arcane. Go
so
watch
good.
Castle, because that's not necessarily dubbing. That's them. You just get to see the acting. Go watch Castlevania. Uh, go watch. Um, Go watch all of the comedy ones. You could pick like a Bob's Burger because that is a very particular style, and you get to see why it's all successful. I highly recommend that you focus on that. You're gonna need training. Find coaches that are reliable. Um, a good coach is going to cost anywhere between 150 to about $300 per hour. It is very expensive.
Wow.
Here is another tip. Do not fall for the scam. The scam is someone that's going to come along and say something like, you're going to train with us for a week. It's going to be amazing. I can tell already that you have so much talent. You're amazing. So you're going to pay us about $2,000, $2,500, $3,000, $4,000, and at the end of the week, we're going to make you a demo, and it's going to sound amazing. You're going to be able to send it out to agents. We even know a couple of agents that you can send it to, and you're going to be a star. Ignore them. They're just scams. I almost fell for one, by the way. And that's how I know. So basically, they'll hole up at a community college or something like voice acting training for 25, 30, $50. Come learn and we'll see. And then you do the course, they'll have you stand up and you'll read and then they'll praise you. They'll praise you and be like, "Oh, you're glorious. Look at how good you are. You have an innate talent and we're going to make you a star." And then they'll be like, "And now give us $2,000." And that point you have to be like, "Goodbye."
Yeah. Dang, that's yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's like a lot of like bad actors like that, in this
Mhm.
industry. So it's kind of hard. And
Yeah.
like, well, I guess there's kind of like red flags, right, when you're seeing that.
Yeah, yeah. So pay attention but just as a counterpoint, a good demo is going to cost you anywhere between 700 to, I don't know, like 1,500, 2,000. So a good demo could cost you that much, depending on where you're getting it, how you're doing it. And you don't have to pay that much necessarily to start working in the industry. Please know that. Please know that. But if you want to have that level of professionalism, there is going to be an upfront cost. But a good coach or a trainer will let you know when you're kind of ready and you'll feel it too. You'll be like, I'm ready. I can start doing this. There won't be any hesitation.
So demos, you can't just make it yourself. Like you can't just like edit
You
it.
can, and there are lots of people who've done it and done it successfully, but agents, casting directors, stuff can kind of tell when you do.
Oh,
So you have to, it's rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, one, if I may, one, I guess, to piggyback off that advice, because that is, I think, and in all honesty, Jimmie, that's the first time that I've actually heard someone give that type of advice or that in-depth advice to people who are interested in voice acting. So I think that this is paramount and something that should not be glossed over because there are scams, right? And one of the things to also like not scare people off, right, from looking for, because you mentioned coaches and everything. One thing that I know that could help for anyone that's looking to get into voice acting and stuff is, there are, workshops. Like, for example, Ray Chase back in the day, he mentioned the name of a workshop that he attended with, I believe it was with Robbie Damon and everyone else and stuff down in LA and Glendale. But like, there's those type of workshops I would, tell people who, if they are within the Southern California province, like to look for, because a lot of voice casting directors that I actually know of and I've worked with in the past, they also host those workshops. Those are not scams. So that's
Yes,
something
big
for
difference.
people to take into account. And that's how I originally got into the entertainment industry as an animator. Was I got in through workshops being taught by people at Pixar, the animation collaborative and stuff. So there are definitely workshops to go to, but as Jimmie said, there are a lot of scams. So definitely want to do your research and like really ask the hard hitting questions of like who is actually like running the workshops, and if you can get in contact with them first before anything else like that, like if they have a LinkedIn or anything like that, to like really know and protect yourself, so then that way you're not just throwing thousands of dollars. But sorry, I digress.
Yeah.
Please
No,
No,
that
continue.
makes
But
no,
I
sense.
you,
really
no,
thought that was a really good answer you gave.
everything you're saying is platinum level. A good litmus test, uh you're gonna get the scams that are real scammy. You'll be like, I looked these people up, I can't find any of their work, I can't find anything they've done. If the people are consistently working now or are well known in the industry and they have the ability to coach or they have coaching available or workshops, generally that's a good litmus test of being like, okay, this is probably a little safer to do. And there are dedicated voice acting websites all over the place. So there are some that are very good that do workshops. give a workshop a try before you start throwing hundreds upon thousands of dollars in training, just to make sure that this is something you like.
Yeah, just kind of try it out before you actually like, go all in.
Yeah. And you're going to be nervous. I get nervous. So if I were to like end this Zoom call and go into a workshop and be like, "Oh, we're doing an anime workshop." And I'll be like, "I've done anime. I should be fine." And we're doing the workshop, so it's a whole bunch of Zoom people on the Zoom if you're not in person. And they give you scripts and you got to perform in front of everybody, and then they do a critique, then you perform again. That's just how it works. You're going to be nervous. It's normal.
Yeah.
Everybody's nervous, and more than likely, most of the people aren't paying attention to your performance anyway because they're too worried about their own performance coming up. So just know that ahead of time. It's okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that yeah, Harada and Jimmy, that's great advice for people in chat who are, interested into going into voice acting, and it seems quite difficult, but I think once you kind of get your bearings, like,
Mhm.
it just rolls, like keeps on rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So I kind of want to pivot into fandom culture.
Oh
So
dear.
yeah. So I heard I guess one of the reasons why like we kind of even started talking, Jimmy, is that when I watched Chris my ex interview, he mentioned, or you mentioned, that you were playing FF16, and I was like, wait a
Hmm.
minute. He
Hmm.
plays Final Fantasy?
Love Final Fantasy.
And then yeah, so I was like, wait, I need to like talk to this guy.
That'll be the next podcast. All Final Fantasy.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
But yeah, being I on Twitter, I do post a lot of Final Fantasy. I'm a really big fan of the series and the IP. And I was just wondering, like, for you, like what since you played, obviously, Final Fantasy
mhm.
16, and I'm sure you played others, but what is your favorite Final Fantasy? I need to know.
You do this to me. Hitting me with a hard,
I'm putting you on the
hitting
spot.
me with a hard question. This is how you know it's a good interview. Hit me with a hard question. Um, my gut and my heart say different things.
Okay, give me
My
top
gut,
three.
yeah, my gut says Final Fantasy VII
Okay,
because
okay,
that is the one that brought me into the franchise.
okay,
My heart is saying 10
okay.
because there was just something so beautiful about 10 when I used to skip class just to keep playing Final Fantasy 10 because I fell in love with that game and the characters and everything. FF7 though had me. Like within the first hour and a half, I was like, I'm hooked. This is it. This is what I'm doing for the next 150 hours or whatever I
Yeah.
clocked into the game. It was a long time. Still never beat either of the weapons though.
Really?
Yeah, I never beat Emerald or Ruby.
Oh, yeah. I think like, well, for me, when I was a kid, I the first Final Fantasy I played was FF7, and then I couldn't get past like a certain part in the submarine, and then I was just like, screw this, I'm not gonna play this anymore. And then after that, I played FF8. So for me, I actually like FF8 the most, because it was the first Final
Mm,
Fantasy I finished.
okay.
Yeah, and then
Eight was great. I loved eight. So don't get me wrong. It's one of those things like, choose your favorite chocolate chip cookie. And I would be like, uh, uh, grandma's chocolate chip cookie, right? I'm not going to make anybody mad, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, FF7. Have you played the remake?
I played the first one. I haven't had time to do Rebirth
Rebirth.
yet. But that's coming up. I'm gonna set a dedicated amount of time just to playing through, and I'm gonna go back and replay remake before because I never got to play integrate. So I'm gonna do that
Oh,
integrate and then go into rebirth.
got
Which did something just release today that I saw
Wait, what?
for like an addition to rebirth, like an integrate rebirth or something
Ah,
like that?
yes. For the Switch 2.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
all right, all right.
they're releasing it for Switch 2 for the first time. I mean, it's like on the Switch system. I don't think they're
Oh,
actually
okay.
changing it, or I think they're adding some mode, but it's not like they're
It's not
adding.
a new stuff or
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know if I needed to drop another $60 or not.
yeah. Yeah.
Something.
I think everyone's just waiting for the part 3 news, so
Yeah.
hopefully
Yeah, yeah.
sometime too soon, because like 2027 is going to be their uh 30th anniversary, I think. right? Yeah,
wow.
30th anniversary. So that's gonna be big. So hopefully, like people are assuming that they're gonna try to like coincide the release with 30th anniversary.
That would make sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would make sense.
but Rebirth is a really big and really long game. It will take
I I hope so. I
it will
love
take
that.
forever.
I love that. Oh, if only I had more time.
FF16 though, you said you played it like it
It
took you
took
about a year.
took a year because I would have to play it in small. Luckily, the way FF16 was sort of formulated, I could do like a quick quest or something like go do a bounty, play a little bit of that, stop, do a little bit of the story, stop. It wasn't like this giant open world thing where I would go off on a tangent and get lost, forget what I was doing, forget what the story was, forget all that, and then have to come back and go, I don't remember what happened in the game. You know what? I'm just going to start from the beginning again and then start all over again.
Yeah. But you enjoyed the story for FF16.
I did. I liked it a lot. Um, I liked it so much that I sat there and I'm like, I went and started looking at the people who were in it, how it was designed, why they started doing stuff like that. I really enjoyed 16. And I'm hoping it's a shot in the dark, but I'm hoping one day I get to work with Ben Starr at some
Mm.
point. That would be
Mm.
amazing if I ever got to work with him.
Yeah, he was really great as Clive.
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Especially towards the end, it's like, oh my god, this is like so emotional now.
Oh God, yeah. The boss fights. Oh my
Oh,
God.
oh my god,
That
so good.
it is
Titan.
everything I've ever. Oh, that was it. So okay.
Yes.
So when I was at the convention, someone asked the question. Yeah, I'm paraphrasing, but
Mm.
what's the most visually spectacular thing, character or something you've ever seen? And my initial thing is like the prettiest character, stuff like that. So
Mm.
everybody was answering with on the panel with different characters, and like they would say this character, and they're like beautiful, beautiful dress, something like that. And I'm like, are you? And I turned to the audience. I'm like, are you asking like waifu or something? And they're like, I mean, you can tell us who your waifu is or something. And I started laughing. I'm like, well, I had a crush on Tifa when I was young.
Nice,
Uh,
nice, base.
but but then I sat there and I went, Titan from Final Fantasy. It is the first time I've ever experienced a boss fight of such a magnitude
Oh my god,
that
yeah.
it was like I was playing everything I ever wanted to in a boss fight because it was epic. It was cinematic. You're running, spoiler alert, you're running like down Titan himself
Yeah,
to fight him, and then you're fighting him in there, and then
yeah.
things only got bigger after that because again, spoiler alert. So cover your ears. Oh, wait a second. Okay. Like when you're fighting Bahamut and you're like fighting in
In
space and there's a
space.
giant crystal flower. I'm like, this is incredible. Who
Yeah.
came up with this art design?
Oh my god, it's yeah. I remember when I was like playing Titan, I was like, okay, so like we're going up Titan, then we're fighting Titan, then we're up Titan, and then afterwards he turns into his other Titan form,
Oh
and then
my
you're
God.
fighting Titan in midair for like 10 minutes, and it's like, how far does
It
this drop?
it was I literally was playing like, oh, this is incredible.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
as soon as I finished, I went and did it again.
Oh yeah. I was playing it and I was streaming at that time, and I remember I told chat, I was like, guys, this is literally the best experience, the best boss fight I've ever done in my entire
Yes.
life.
Yeah. They were just like, you know what? We're just gonna go all in and throw budget at it, and it succeeded.
Oh my god, yeah. And then after the Titan one, the Bahamut one, like the space and the
That
crystal
that was
flower that you
that was
mentioned.
that was that
No,
was
what actually for me, like what really resonates when I play any video game is like the music. So if like the music is very
oh God, yeah.
emotionally driven, yeah, and like that plus whatever is happening in the scene, like is that's really like what makes it, what sells it for me.
The
So
score was so powerful.
it was so good. Like the Soken, the way like for Bahamut specifically, like sorry the spoilers, but like when he played classical music in
Mm,
the Bahamut fight, I was like, this is absolute cinema. It's
it
like
was. It was.
literally
Chef's kiss.
cinema.
Chef's kiss.
Literally,
Loved
I
it.
was like, I was not expecting like classical music, especially like because Titan was like kind of rock, and
Mm-hmm.
then like previously to that, like Garuda and so forth, they were all quite like I mean instrumental, orchestral, but like not that classical, but like once it went to Bahamut, it was like almost like
That
Beethoven or like some kind of
what
Mozart.
once the classical music starts playing, that's when you know you're fighting a final boss or something like that. You're like, okay,
I was
okay,
like,
the
oh
classical
my,
music's playing.
yeah.
We're fighting the really powerful one now. Okay.
It was so good. It honestly like mind blowing. Like in retrospect, I think yeah, Final Fantasy 16 was one of the best Final Fantasies I've ever played. It's
Yeah,
just visually
I
beautiful.
really had fun playing it. I'm looking forward to see. I can't wait to do the both sevens again, just to
Yeah.
get deep into that and relive that story. Just give me all the Final Fantasies. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Wait, so have you played like all of them?
No, 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 no. I didn't play. I missed nine for whatever reason. I don't know.
Oh,
And I heard nine was great, and
it is so
it
good.
just passed me by. Seven, eight. I played a halfway through what would be six, three here in the United States. I still whistle. I still whistle that theme where she's walking in the snowfield
Oh,
in the
Terrace
very
theme.
beginning. Yeah, Tara's theme. Literally whistling while I'm working. Um, I played 10, 10 2. I didn't play 11. I played 12, 13. I played most of the second one of 13, and then life happened, and I never got to play the third one
Third
of
Lightning
that.
Link.
Yeah. I didn't play 14 yet.
Oh my god, you should play it. I'm
Uh, I'm half
obsessed.
I'm halfway through 15, and I still it's like on my computer. I still haven't gone back to like finish it out. I beat 16 and I'm waiting for 17 to come out.
Oh yeah. I mean, maybe you be in 17 yourself.
Oh yeah, fingers crossed. I'm
But yeah,
available.
Hada does the background for him. Like that's the by Amano, right? Like Ultima and a bunch of like summons.
Oh yeah, it's the 15 art.
Spectacular.
It was a gift
Spectacular.
when I was at Square Enix. So
Yeah, that's
I know a
awesome.
thing or two about Final Fantasy. I'm
You
pretty
played
good
all
at
of
that.
them, right?
That's
Actually, a fun fact, like literally, for one of the, I won't say what, but like something very important is actually like saved on, and it's like the Shadowbringers, but it's like this is like a terabyte or whatever drive, but like some like really important project is like saved like right here. So it's like,
Oh, that's so
yeah, so it's
sick.
like the
oh,
Shadowbringers
that's so
sword or
cool.
whatever. So like whenever I have to like go into work or whatever, they're like, "What is that?" And yeah, it's a good conversation thing.
That's so
It's
cool.
the best conversation starter.
Yeah, he also has like a Zenless Zone Zero skateboard.
Oh yeah, I've actually
Was
been
that what
playing
you
with
were
it. So
playing
like,
with earlier?
yeah, my buddy,
Yeah.
yeah, he works at MiHoYo and stuff, and actually my wife, no, my wife's with Nintendo, but like when my wife and I were with him, he knew that I love skateboarding and tech decks, and so gave me this, and so like
That's
it's
phenomenal.
now like more worn out because like all I do at work, like when I'm having meetings and stuff, is I just because I have ADHD, so I just that's why I'm probably
Fidget.
moving around a lot. I
Mm.
fidget a lot, and I play with this. So
That's super cool. I don't think actually seen that as like a merchandise that you can buy. I don't think you
well, now you have.
can. I don't think you can buy it. I think it's like for staff or something. That's awesome. But favorite Final Fantasy character, Jimmy?
Oh, character.
Hmm.
Oh, why would you do that to me? Oh God. Torgal.
Oh,
Yeah, I fell in
Torgal.
love with Torgal. I mean, I
Interesting.
love all the other characters. I love them all. Like Red, I think is probably my favorite from seven.
Mm.
Um, but I think there was something about Torgal where I was like, I want the puppy. I want the puppy as my own. Torgal became one of my favorite, and I like when you can pet the dog. I would stop and pet the dog all the
Oh,
time. So yeah, I think currently it's Torgal.
oh, that's awesome. Yeah, like I guess human character.
All right, human character. Oh, you had to make it challenging. Um, since I got to play the good thing about the remake of Seven is I got to experience the characters in a little more depth, and the voice acting brought more characterization to them that I wouldn't have gotten just reading.
Right.
Um, I actually, again, uh, part of the reason I really like Tifa as a character is she is kind, she is strong, she is loyal. Um, she is just a good person overall. So out of seven, I would have to say it's Red or Tifa, and
Nice.
I think Yuna
Oh.
in 10. So going back to where they said, "Tell me about the most beautiful character you've seen,"
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I said Titan, and then I went back and I started thinking about it, and I said, you know what? In terms of beauty, I would say Yuna's water dance when she did the
Oh, it's
water dance.
so good.
I remember seeing that for the first time, and like my eyes opened, my jaw dropped, and I don't even remember holding the controller. Just watching her do it, I was like, this is spectacular.
Yeah, that scene. I mean,
Yeah, that
Final
scene
Fantasy
was
X in
beautiful.
general, just like all of those cutscenes that are like CG and voiced for the first time was like just
Hmm.
mind blowing.
Yeah, yeah. So I would say the water dance currently.
Yeah, that's yeah, that makes sense. But like you also mentioned in that interview, in your previous interview with Chris that you binged Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Yes, I did.
So like how was that? I actually
I
haven't
was
played that much yet, so
I I love Claire Obscure. Loved it. And I didn't know anything about it really, other than a couple of trailers. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. That looks fun. I'm gonna give it a shot. And then I started playing it and I went, this is it. This is everything that I kind of love in a game. And I love the turn-based aspect to it. I love action games too.
mm,
So this one was a mix of both,
right.
sort of, because you had to be on point to block all the monsters being like, I'm gonna hit you now. I'm gonna hit you. Oh, no, no, I'm not. Whack.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love I loved it. The characters I loved. I loved the story, the art. Oh, so apparently this is a rumor. I haven't looked into it too much, but apparently it's compatible with some VRs. So
Really?
I want, yeah, supposedly you
Mm,
can make it so you can put on VR and go into that. I
that
want to do
yeah.
that
The
because you're,
environment.
spoiler alert, you're in a painting
Oh
and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
art everywhere. And I think that's also part of the reason I loved it. My favorite character from that game, Eskia.
Oh yeah, yeah, she's
Loved
awesome. Yeah,
Eskia.
yeah. Yeah, Claire Obscure, I think like I mean, with like the whole like indie like it's it was only made by 33 people or something like that, right? Like yeah, it's really impressive, I think. So, but for personally, do you enjoy action games or do you like turn-based?
What do I play more? You know what? It doesn't matter if it's in the RPG genre. I will generally play it. Turn-based doesn't matter. So, for example,
Mm,
Persona 5, fantastic, turn-based. But then
mm.
if you pick up something a little more actiony like FF16, love it. It's just with turn-based, I can be a little more relaxed. With action, I can like get the adrenaline pumping, sort of thing.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Like for me, I actually don't like I don't really gravitate to turn-based kind of games because I don't have the patience for it. But yeah, I think like Claire Obscure is quite fun because they have that parry thing, right? Where you have to like kind of
Yeah,
guess the boss's fight and everything like that. So
yeah.
yeah,
I,
it's
I n-
interesting.
I never beat. Spoiler alert. Okay, Simon. I never beat Simon.
Mm-mm.
He kept destroying me, and I'm like, I quit. I'm done. I can't do this.
It gets more challenging, right, as you keep on playing that game because I actually haven't gone
Yeah,
that far, but like I do know it's like some of my friends are saying that like it's super
it
frustrating.
it gets very hard. It gets very Souls alike. And I
Oh.
love Souls game. I love Souls games. I love the challenge of Souls games. But
Mm-mm.
Simon whooped me repeatedly to the point where I was embarrassed. And I'm like, I'm done. This game is stupid. It's not stupid. It's not stupid at all. But after a while, you're like, oh God, I can't keep getting beat.
Wait, like, so have you played like, what kind of like RPGs have you played?
Oh, jeez. One of my favorite of all time is Chrono Trigger.
Oh,
Actually,
okay,
my bucket list is to be a voice in a Square Enix game. That's on my
nice.
bucket
Got to
at some
make it
point.
happen.
I do not care if I am shopkeeper B going, come over here, the finest materia around. It doesn't matter to me. Uh, I will be happy with that, but that's on my bucket list. So Chrono Trigger, all the Baldur's Gates,
Oh,
loved
you have you
3.
played Baldur's Gate 3?
Loved, oh yes.
Oh my gosh.
Love Baldur's Gate 3 so much.
Someone actually in
Uh,
chat, I was streaming yesterday. They asked me, like to ask you who you romanced in Baldur's Gate 3.
okay. 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 So so when it first came out, it was in like the beta phase, so they only had
Yeah,
like
yeah.
chapter 1. And I'm like, "Ooh, I'm gonna romance Shadowheart.
Yeah,
This
space.
will be cool. This will be really awesome.
Yeah.
She's edgy. She quips at me, I can quip back. It'll be fun." And then I saw a YouTube clip of Karlak
Oh.
getting so excited about getting to go on her first date ever.
Hmm.
And I went, that's it. I have to take her on her first date. I have to
Oh.
know how this goes and I have to know what it's like. I want to know what the romance is like. So at first I was like, you know what? They can't tell me what to do. So I started romancing Karlak and Shadowheart at the same
Oh
time.
no.
It didn't go poorly at all
Oh,
because
okay, okay, good.
yeah, the conversation I got was like I think Shadowheart brought it up to me. It was like, so you like Karlak? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in love with Karlak. And she goes, oh, but we're in love too. And I'm like, yes. Would you be open to having a polyamorous relationship? And she said no, she deserves to have the true relationship. And I went, yes, you are right. So then I ended up romancing Karlak, and Shadowheart became my bestie. It was fantastic. It was the best playthrough. I loved it.
For me, I didn't know you could well, you can't really romance multiple people, but like I
Yeah.
romanced Shadowheart because yeah, I was playing as my tab was male, and I was like, I love Shadowheart, so wanted to romance Shadowheart, and I accidentally romanced Halcyon, like on accident, because like he just asks you questions, right? So you're like, okay, yeah,
Mhm.
sure, whatever, and then you just increase the affinity, and suddenly we're making out, and I was like, oh no, Shadowheart's right there, and then I was like, oh no, she's gonna be so mad. Like I didn't like actively try to romance two people.
It just
It
happened.
just happened, and then so I was like, oh my god, I'm so like
Mm.
I'm screwed. I'm screwed with Shadowheart. She's gonna break up with me. And then so I would go back to Shadowheart, and I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like I know you saw all of that, and then she has like dialogue that's like, yeah, I did see that, and I see that like I'm not the only one in your heart, but it's okay. And I was like, wait, what? Like she's okay with that? And then I was like, wait, that that's not what I saw in the guidebook. Like, yeah. Apparently, like if you are with like if you romance certain characters, they are okay with. Like it depends on who the character is, and House
Yeah.
was one of them. Yeah, which was really interesting. I was like, okay. I guess this is happening right now.
I that's a game that I'm gonna play repeat. So I have games that I call my Evermore games. They're my Evermore because I will play them evermore. Baldur's Gate 3 is one of them. So I plan on going back and romancing everybody just to see what happens, just to
Yeah.
see the story, all that. Go back and be completely evil. Go back and just be a ridiculous fool. Go back just because I want to see what the story is like. Because everybody put so much time and effort into this game, it would be nice to see.
Have you played it once only, or have you done multiple?
I played the beta through 5 times, and then I played through the
Five
full game.
times.
Yeah. Then I played through the full game once,
Wow.
and which was a substantial amount of time investment because for me it took a long time because
Right.
when I was playing BG3, I was still just starting the voice acting career, so I had to split my time and stuff like that. So yeah,
That's amazing. Yeah, that like have you done a dark I'm assuming you didn't do
an
a
urge,
dark age.
no,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
my next playthrough, and I have to decide whether I'm gonna be completely evil or try to be the person who's like, no, I'm not gonna eat random people.
Yeah. Like I was thinking of trying it, like, but it's so hard because you just have to be like, actually evil and choose the really bad ones.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I can't, I can't.
The one thing I won't do, I won't be mean to Scratch. I won't do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah, yeah. The dog is just so cute. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is amazing. I've actually never like I was never familiar with those kind of games where like any dialogue you choose affects something in the path. So in the beginning I was just kind of like playing blindly, and that cost me the ending. So I was so mad. Yeah,
Oh,
cuz like so I was okay, I it Baldur's Gate 3 took me I think like 300 hours to finish.
oh,
It
you were like
it was
in it.
I was in it. Like I did everything. I did everything. I did everything right. I thought I did everything right cuz like spoilers for Baldur's Gate 3 in chat, sorry. But like at the end, I did everything right because I wanted to save Karlak. And then I did one thing in the beginning wrong, and she was not saved. And I was
Oh.
so mad. It was just, I was so mad.
That would, you see, for your story, your playthrough, if this was a book, that was your one regret. That was the one
Exactly.
regret.
Like
Yep.
that's
In
why
the
I thought
story.
Baldur's Gate 3 was so powerful because it's like everything you do matters.
Matters.
And then it makes you reflect like, oh, like my decision actually like messed up something, or like I saved the world, but I didn't save the person that like was really close to me, you
I'm
know.
glad you actually brought that up. So when I played, this is going to be a huge spoiler for Claire Obscura, and I'm going to do my best to not spoil it.
It's all good.
You will end up having to make a choice. And in said choice, I had to stop playing the game because the choice would be a reflection of who I am as a person and who I am as a father. So when I made the choice, I literally stopped, and my wife, I stopped her and I said, "We need to talk. I'm going to explain this game in 2 minutes because I know you're never going to play it. And here are my decisions." And the decision I made was one based on me as a dad. And I still reflect back on it today about the decision I made and whether it was the right choice. Not because, and a lot of times people will play a game and be like, it's just a game, just make a choice, give the story, it doesn't really matter. In this particular case, I sat there and I went, the choice I make could affect the people in my life if I had to make a similar choice. So what I make and the consequences of it have meaning to me on a subjective level. So it's something I still think about today. I don't want to spoil anything for those who haven't played it or who haven't finished it, but it was a very challenging choice to make.
Was your wife like, actually that was a good choice?
She agreed with the choice I made because of the reasons that I made it. Um, in the end, I chose to. Oh, you know what? No, no, I don't want to because it's too precious for
Mm,
those that are getting to that point. So
mm.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of people like who have played the game said that it's like one of the best self-reflective pieces towards the
Yes,
end.
yes, and
Ha-
that's why I stopped. I had to stop playing and be like,
mm,
and like make the choice. Yeah.
yeah. Have you played Near Automata?
Yes. Multiple times I got most of the endings.
Did you what did you do at the end with the choice?
Oh,
Did you delete
are
it?
you talking about the no? On my first playthrough, I
Yeah.
went, I just spent all this time. Am I
Exactly.
gonna sacrifice this? What?
Exactly.
And
Yes,
I
thank
didn't
you.
even know what it, I didn't truly know what it meant until I realized the philosophical implications of it later.
Right.
And then I think I went back through and then I deleted it. Because in
Wow.
this case, it's like, do you want to sacrifice the thing and delete everything you've ever done just so somebody can have a decent shot? And I went, what? What do you mean so that someone can have No, I just spent all this time. I don't want to delete the game. Is this a bug? did I did I encounter a bug?
Right.
No, don't delete the game. And then you get your ending or whatever. And then
Yeah.
I went back and I went, oh, it was philosophy, just like the whole game. Duh.
Yeah. I remember when I was playing it, I was just like, yeah, there was that choice, right? And I was like, wait, what do you mean, like delete? As in, like everything that all of these hours I put in, all of these side quests I did, like
Mhm.
delete it? And I was like, what if I want to come back and rewatch a cutscene? So I was like, I'm just not gonna
That
do it.
that was my thought process. I'm like, this has to be an error. I must have done something wrong.
Exactly. Yeah, so I didn't delete it either, but like when I think about it though, it's like, oh, okay, I understand why. And it's so brilliant how they like actually, like built everything to a sort of meta level, right? Where it's like
Yeah,
you're kind of like everything you do affects kind of the game itself, right? So
yeah. It was. The story was brilliant, and especially the way they interwove all the different endings. Kudos, like
yeah,
truly one of their best.
yeah, it's so good. Yeah, near series in general, is one of like my favorite.
I haven't played the prequel yet. I
Replicant.
still have to. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that one's
I
really
have
good
it.
too.
I haven't played through it yet.
Yeah, that one is very good. I think personally I like Automata more, but yeah, Replicant is
Okay.
also amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get to learn about Emil. Because in Automata he's just kind of like a merchant, right?
Yeah, he's just kind of there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, these choices in video games. It's just so cool to like, talk about video games, especially because, I'm sure that you haven't really talked about that in an interview before.
Oh, I will sit here and talk all the live long day if you want.
I think Hana, you have a
You
question though, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. So you mentioned we mentioned indie games quite a bit. So I'm just curious within the realm of indie games, and you obviously being a voice actor and everything, uh, is it at all possible, or could you see yourself working on like smaller scale, like much smaller scale, like overall just indie projects, whether or not it's someone like even just starting up and like even like learning Unreal or anything like that, but like being part of something like from the ground up to like see an indie game come to life.
100% yes. Yes, I would. Just so everybody knows, yes, 100% I
All
would.
right, baby, you're
Uh,
hired.
be-
There we
yeah,
go.
because the art of it is art, and even if it's your first go at it, it's something that we would theoretically be doing together. We would be doing a creation, and win or lose, we're going for it. And it could be, we won't know if it's glorious until we do it.
Yeah.
So yes, I also feel that indie games have a certain power that others don't, because there is this hope and passion that sometimes only one person is just given everything they got to see if they can make it a success. And they might have a little bit of money, and when you can see like look at what happened with Minecraft. One person said, "I'm gonna do a thing," and that thing became a multi-billion-dollar empire
Right.
with a movie and everything like that. So indie is where it all begins. I mean, Claire Obscure, indie.
Right.
Larian, for the most part, indie.
Right. Right. Right.
One of my favorites is Ori. And I'm not a huge side scroller person, but Ori and the Blind Forest and Will o' the Wisp,
Oh, that one, yeah.
they're beautiful. They're beautiful, and I love them, and I still listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah, that's I mean, and the new one like Hollow Knight Silk Song that just came out, right?
Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight, I got all the way up to the final boss and couldn't beat him.
Isn't it very
Couldn't beat.
difficult? Isn't the game in
Oh yeah.
general very
Yes,
difficult?
yes. And like I said, I love Souls games. I couldn't beat the final boss. I played it over and over and over, and finally I went, "All right, you got to put it down. You got to put it down. You you got to stop. You're going to break a TV."
um,
It's,
do you have you played Elden Ring?
yes, I've beaten
Wow.
all of the Souls games.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have definitely played way more than I have. I don't know about you, Harada, though. Probably you've played at equal level.
A bit, yeah. So I like
I
video
love
games.
I love the Souls games, and I like the Souls games because they were so challenging. That's why I like them.
Oh, you
Oh.
might actually like this then. It's actually from Audrey's aitaikuchi as well. I got this way back when, but everyone always comments on this watch, and it's a Bloodborne watch. So it's
Oh, get
Bloodborne
out of
right here.
here.
Yeah. So this is
Oh,
what I
that's
always wear
so
everywhere. So,
cool.
but it's from check out aitaikuchi,
Oh,
everyone.
it's
Get
okay.
some dope ass stuff like this.
We partner with a company called Super Groupies. They do like a lot of themed video game anime merchant like apparel and like watches and shoes and stuff like that. So Bloodborne was one of their collaborations we sold. I think maybe a couple of years ago, 2-3 years
Are
ago.
th- is it still up there?
I think they sold out. Yeah, it's like
No. I was about to
Super
be like,
Groupie
"Ooh,
stuff
I
is
have
like
some new
very
drip.
very
Look at
limited.
me."
But they have like sometimes they do bring back like their older
Okay,
collections.
I'll
So
have to keep an
I'll
eye
let you
out.
know. But yeah, it's
Oh,
super
that's
cool.
cool.
The Bloodborne watch. But I did see that there was like news that they said, I think it was Jeff Keighley said like they have no plan to do anything with Bloodborne 2 or whatever at the moment.
Heartbreaking. Absolutely
So you
heartbreaking.
played Bloodborne too. I
Oh
mean
yeah,
Bloodborne
beat
as
that
well.
too. Yeah, yeah,
That is
loved it.
amazing. That is amazing. Are you like a completionist? Do you want to like 100% everything?
That's my problem. Yes, and that's why. So I love RPGs. Everyone would think that generally you'd be
Mm.
like, "Oh, so you've beaten Skyrim?" No, no. I got gamer ADHD and went, "Ooh, I'm obviously gonna need 72 forks. obviously, for some reason, this is going to be important. So I would sit there and collect all the random nonsense and be like, oh, I'm overweight. All right, let me
Oh.
trudge back to town and just dump a bunch of forks in my house and go back out again.
Oh no.
So, yeah. So Skyrim I never beat because I kept going and collecting things and it just got to be too much.
Oh. Mhm. Like what is it called in Baldur's Gate? Encumbered?
Yeah, yeah. I kept being encumbered and, slow walking my way back to a house.
Yeah, like I don't really I cannot 100% things, but I do just play through for the story. But I remember like playing
Mhm.
Baldur's Gate. I was like, there is no really like 100% like there. I don't
No.
really know what I'm doing.
A,
Like,
a rumor has it there's still stuff people haven't found yet.
oh
So,
wow,
yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. I think like yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 definitely was one of like the most engaging and most interesting RPGs I've ever played.
Yes,
Um,
it is literally I would one of my top 5. I love that game so much.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Again, any of the actors there would love to work with any of them just
Oh yeah.
because they were so talented and so good. So good.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, Neil Nabin and like Jennifer English.
Yeah.
They're yeah, like so. Yeah, Shadow. I think the reason why I also went for Shadow Hearts because like I really liked her voice. So.
Oh, she is almost becoming like a Lucky Charm
Hmm.
in the industry, it seems like, because
Hmm.
any game that she's in ends up like skyrocketing to the top.
Yeah, it is amazing. um,
She's incredible.
yeah, Jennifer English. I think she's also in another. It's not an. I don't know if it's actually an indie game, but like Tides of Annihilation. It's like a kind of like a Souls looking game. From a Chinese developer,
I
and
know what you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, yeah. And I remember I heard her voice in that one. I was like, oh,
I'll end
like,
up buying it, I'm sure.
yeah. Is there any game that you're currently playing right now aside
Zenless.
from Zenless? I mean,
Yeah, Zenless
oh,
right
just
now.
Zenless. Oh, okay, okay.
So when I have some time, I'll play Zenless,
Mm.
and then I have to decide what I'm gonna do because on my computer right now, ready to play, is Cyberpunk, Pathfinder: Wrath of the Righteous. I think it's called Neva. It's an indie game where you have a wolf companion, which I absolutely love. Um, and then I have to decide, am I going to download FF
Oh my god,
7?
please play FF14.
Oh,
It's
yeah, eventually I know I will.
it's so good. It
Maybe
is.
if I ever stream, I'll jump in and do
You
that or
should.
something.
Oh yeah, people love watching reactions for FF14. It's just like I love reaction watching people's
And
reactions.
I'll be going in completely blind. I know nothing about
Oh,
the story, the characters, class design, nothing. So I would be going in blind.
that is the best. That is
Yeah,
actually the
yeah,
best. Yeah.
it'll be cool.
Yeah, even like my sister, I remember she was like getting to this one part of this expansion called Shadowbringers, and I was like, I know you don't stream, but can you just like Discord me so I can watch your reaction? Yeah, because it's just that good.
Yeah, yeah. I if I can get the time. I'm
Yeah,
excited to try it out, but I gotta make sure I have the time to do it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, of course. But yeah, that now that we talked about a lot of video games, I was thinking of like this one section. The next section in our interview is well, I saw this really funny interview with Hamaguchi, who is the director. Hamaguchi Naoki is a director of FF7 Rebirth, and it's
Hmm.
like a rapid fire kind of interview style. So
Let's do it. Let's do
I
it.
was thinking about doing it like in this interview just to see how it goes.
Let's do it. Shoot it out. Let's go.
Okay, I mean, you can spend as much time as you want answering it, but it's just kind of like I'll just keep on going.
All
Yeah.
right.
Okay, okay. So I think we already know this. You already mentioned in the beginning, but favorite anime of all time.
Fruits basket.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite type of anime genre and why?
Fantasy and or slice of life, which is why I like Freerun so much because it is literally a combination of both.
Frieren. Wow. Okay.
Love
Okay.
for the reason I like Freerun so much, and this was something we actually talked about at the con. The older you get, the more you get to appreciate about Freerun, because you get to see the teenagers growing up. You get to see the cool action and the spells and stuff, and then you get to. The older you get, you learn how important memory is and what you've missed out on life. It's beautiful. Freerun's beautiful.
Yeah, that's an anime I have to actually watch. I haven't watched.
Oh, it's wonderful. It has a slower paced vibe, but if you just go with it, it's an exploration of humanity, basically.
Interesting. Who was your character inspiration growing up?
Oh, growing up character inspiration. When I was a child, it probably would have been something like Lion-O or getting older, it would then be Goku.
Mm.
Getting past that, it would be something like D and Vampire Hunter D, because
Nice.
when you're a teenager, you're like, I'm gonna be edgy and cool. Um, and then again, as I got older, it ended up being something like Toru Honda because of her kindness and humanity. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with those. Those would be
Oh,
it.
awesome. Character crush growing up.
Tifa, obviously, but that,
Yeah,
but that,
based.
yeah, that was a long time ago. Um, I tend to get crushes on the characters that are quirky or shy, glasses, um,
Glasses. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, tattoos, stuff like that.
Mm, like a certain type of like a character. Yeah, like a
Yeah, yeah, it's
archetype sort of.
generally character archetypes is
Right, right,
sort of
right.
where I live.
Gotcha. Favorite video game of all time.
I can't answer that. That is an impossible question. Oh my
Top three.
gosh. So right now it'll be something like, you know what, we can sort of divvy it up into genres. I won't be able to do top three. I can't do it. It'll be the Soul style game. If I had to pick from that, it would be
Hmm.
Elden Ring, Chrono Trigger. I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy 7 and 10.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with Don't Starve, Ori and the Blind Forest, Baldur's Gate 3,
Hmm.
Planescape Torment. If we're going in the shooter genre, it would probably be the Borderlands 2,
Oh.
specifically Tiny Tina's
Oh.
the Assault
Wonderland.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Wonderland one.
Wonderland
If
is
I had
Tahina
to,
Wonderland.
I played that over and over and
Oh,
over
how
again.
did
The
that?
Dragon Keep, I think is what it's called.
Mhm.
Um, oh
Sorry,
God, why
continue.
would you do this to me? Oh, why would you do this to me? I'm
I'm
going
so
into
sorry.
panic mode. I'm
Oh no.
going into panic.
Oh
No, no,
no,
no.
it's
I'm
okay.
fine. I'm fine. Um, yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with
Mm.
that. And I'm sure this is gonna finish, and I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night and be like, "Oh no, I forgot one." But yeah, yeah.
All good. Do you collect anime or video game merchandise?
Not necessarily the merchandise, the games themselves, yes. Particularly when Steam is like, it's sale time. I'm like, okay, there goes my entire paycheck just buying a bunch of games.
That's amazing.
But yeah, yeah, not necessarily the merchandise. If I see something cool occasionally, I'll be like, yes, I'm getting that. But
Mm.
mostly games.
Gotcha, gotcha. So not really like figurines and stuff like that.
No, no, mostly because I'll be like, I have nowhere to put this.
Yeah, that's fair. What is then your most prized possession?
It is anything my daughter's given me,
Oh,
drawings, stuff like that. And I know that's probably overly sappy and sentimental, but it's little things like that. So for example, right here,
oh, that's
it's a
so cute. Oh,
she drew all of us, so I keep this here with
oh,
me to remind me not to panic when I'm doing a thing. I have pictures of her. It was my birthday moderately recently, so she
right.
made me a gift bag, and she gave me a Pokemon card, so I have the
Oh, cute.
Pokemon card here. I have a drawing of Bulbasaur that my wife made over here.
Oh,
I've got my wife wrote down a lovely quote and an inscription on a copper plate, so I have that here
wow.
with me. So yeah, it's all sentimental things like that. Those are my most valuable possessions.
Thank you for sharing. It's
Oh
I
yeah, yeah,
didn't
yeah.
want to like overstep any borders or anything, boundaries. I mean.
No, no, no. We have a Charmander that was given to us by for my daughter as a gift. My friend that I miss dearly, who passed away.
Oh.
So that will always be in our house. always. It's things like that. Those are the things that I cherish.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm.
Um, Going back to this rapid fire, though, I'm sorry. Who is your inspiration for voice acting?
Laura Bailey initially. It would
Oh,
be Laura Bailey, Steve Bloom, Crispin Freeman. But I know Crispin Freeman as Zelgadis, not as Itachi.
mm,
That's how I knew Crispin Freeman. Those were the initial ones. Laura Bailey's the one that was the true catalyst to get me to start.
oh. Have you worked with any of them as of now or
No,
up until
not
now?
yet. Not
Oh,
yet.
okay.
Hopefully one day. Hopefully one day. I did train with Crispin Freeman.
Mm,
Highly recommended. But when you go and train with Crispin, professionalism, courtesy, and hard work. That is going to be your baseline.
gotcha. Um, what country in the world would you like to visit?
Yes.
Many countries.
Yeah, yeah. I love to travel and I love so a lot of times is what would you do if you weren't a voice actor? I would want to be a food blogger and
Oh.
travel around and be like, I'm eating delicious stuff. Don't you wish you were here? So basically, that's what I want to do. Right now on my bucket list is Shanghai. I want to get to
Oh
New
yeah.
Zealand. I want to go back to Japan, and I want to head back to Europe. And specifically, I would like to visit the Black Forest in Germany.
Oh, interesting. Black Forest.
Hmm.
Favorite food then?
Yes. Yeah, that one's impossible. My initial gut reaction is ramen.
Oh, ramen. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
There was a brief moment in time where I almost gave it all up and went to become a ramen chef.
Amazing. What was the
Mhm.
inspiration?
Literally, I didn't know what it was until I watched Naruto, and then I was like, "What? What is that?" And then I was in a random like mall type grocery store setting, and they had ramen, and I tried it and went, "This is really good." And then I tried it for the first time at my favorite one, and I was like when you have good ramen for the first time, it's like a transcendent experience when you sip
Yeah,
the broth for the
yeah.
first time. I
Hmm.
brought a friend to that same one and he ate the egg and
Oh.
his face broke. And I looked at him like, "Do you hate it? Are you okay?" And he said, "I think this is the best egg I've ever had in my entire life." And I went, "Yeah, yeah, it is. That's why I brought you here. Enjoy."
The egg. Actually, though, in Japan, like if the place has good egg, like it's called
Mhm.
ajitama. If they have a good egg, then you know that the ramen most likely will be
Oh.
good.
And it they do. They do. It's
Hmm.
my tonkotsu is my favorite.
Tonkotsu. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Then going off of that, favorite cuisine.
Uh See, I like to cook as well.
Mm,
So for me it's fun to try learning new things. So currently I've made Japanese cuisine a whole bunch. So now I'm trying to learn Korean, Chinese, and Indian are the three that I'm trying to learn. So I can't pick because it's a day by day thing where you're like, I'm gonna try everything. This is delicious. Let me eat
mm.
the whole world.
But you usually do Japanese food at home.
If it's for me, yeah. Generally, if I'm just cooking in a very quick method, it's an impromptu generalized Asian style. So I might just do something real quick with vegetables, or I might actually pick and choose. I might do a Korean style pickling, and then I'll do a Japanese style soup, and then I'll do a Chinese style stir fry
That's
sort of thing.
awesome.
Is how I'll do it. So that way I get a little bit of everything, which
Yeah,
is nice.
that is awesome. Completely not related to cooking, but what do you think is Hugo's idea of a day off?
Okay. Um, I think he would still be working even on his day off, so it might be casually just for fun, busting in a pub sec to rob them of a whole bunch of money,
Fair.
taking said money and then going to buy a bunch of desserts and then having a picnic somewhere on like a beach or in a park with all his these desserts that he got, even though he might not necessarily want to eat them anymore, but just to prove a point and be like, this is the best day. I stuck it to them. I'm getting to have desserts. Vivian's right there. I just gave Lycon a hard time. This is the best. I think that would be Hugo's best day.
Thank you. I'm sure the Hugo fans like that little bit of lore inspection.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cats or dogs?
I love both. I go with dogs like Torgal and everything.
Yeah.
That I tend to lean towards dogs just because I'm very allergic to cats.
Fair.
But
Yeah.
I used to have both a cat and a dog. The cat used to sleep with me. I was highly allergic, but it was it was bad. But I love them both. But so for practical purposes, dog.
Dogs, gotcha. I heard that if you like stay with a cat long enough, you kind of develop a like a
It can,
immunity.
but that beginning part is really rough.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Awesome. Favorite Super Smash Fighter?
Pikachu.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hmm. Yeah, I use Pikachu.
Reasons why?
I like Pikachu.
Yeah,
That's it. That's the only reason.
yeah, yeah. And he has like a really OP Thunderbolt move, so
Yep, and I would use that repeatedly and
yeah, and annoy
piss
everyone.
off all my friends. Yeah.
Yeah,
Stop
exactly.
doing that. No.
Yeah, and I love doing that too in the Smash. But I use Kirby because I can't like I don't know how to not like fall off the platform. So
Float back up.
exactly. Um, favorite hobbies.
Cooking, trying different food, travel, video games. Yeah, it's all everything we've pretty much talked about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Favorite type of music.
Yeah, I am a little too eclectic to go into any particular. So, do I? No, I don't have my. Otherwise, I'd pull up my Spotify playlist. I'm literally listening to. I just started listening to Blackpink. I
Oh,
started listening. Yeah, yeah. I
nice.
just started, and I'm like, this is great. Um, I have classical music. I have uh hard rock. I have metal. I have lots of instrumental. I have it's literally just this giant hodgepodge of nonsense music where the next song is nothing like the next. So it's not look, my favorite growing up was probably a band called Garbage because they
Mm,
had like a synthy rock vibe to them that I
mhm.
loved.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just basically every like whatever genre you're feeling like.
Yeah, it's mostly like that's a great song. I'm putting that on the list. That's how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you use Spotify's like Smart Shuffle?
No, I've never used it.
Uh,
I've never used it.
sometimes there's bangers.
Okay. I'll give it a shot next time I'm driving.
Yeah. Sometimes you're like, wait, 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 this is good. This is good.
I have to pull over. I gotta add it to my list.
Favorite color.
Black and purple.
Okay. Interesting.
Like that really dark purple. Love it.
Like not like a royal like not the royal kind of purple, like darker than that.
Yeah. Like you in the background of your panel, you have a purple back there.
Mm.
I like that. I like that a
Ah,
lot. I think that's really nice. But if I'm going to wear something, it would be the black and that really dark purple. I think that
oh,
looks nice.
awesome. Favorite meme.
The husky going,
Nice,
he,
nice,
he makes me happy. So that is my favorite meme.
nice. How did that actually has a husky? He's super cute, adorable dog. One thing about yourself that you haven't talked about yet.
We've said all my jobs. We said oh God. Um
It could be anything. Like
yeah,
I tap
I
dance.
I'm trying to look around. I love doing board games. I play D&D,
Oh, you
or at least I
okay?
used to.
I was
I
gonna
used to
ask that
play a lot.
actually.
Um, and then I got busy with voiceovers, so now I can't play with my group anymore. I was the forever DM,
Oh,
and
okay. I was
D
gonna ask that too.
if you are interested in being a voice actor, being a DM forces you to improvise. It forces you to maintain an accent and forces you to come up with characterization, motivation, meaning. It is a very good way to practice.
Awesome. Yeah, I was gonna like because you mentioned Baldur's Gate, so I was like, surely you would also be playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I've been playing D&D since I was like 13. So I'd like a long time. My
Mm.
longest that I DM'd, I want to say I DM'd for like 10 to 12 years.
Oh
We
my
did a
god.
full campaign from level 1 all the way to level 20. Yeah.
And the group that you play with is always the same people.
For the most part, a few people would come in and out, but for the most part, the core of the group, everybody, same for over 10 years.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
dedication.
Very rare. Yeah, it's very rare.
Mm. I've actually never played D&D before, but I've seen people like play it, and it seems very interesting, very like imagination.
I think you'll love it. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Most people are like, "Is it just a board game?" It's board game with pretend. So
Right.
you play pretend, and then you roll dice to see if your pretend works. That's it.
I see. There's a lot of like kind of just, the imagination and like creating the
Mhm.
scenario just off the like top of your head.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of what it is. Literally improv.
So that would be really good for if you want to do voice acting, right? Because you can try out the different characters and stuff.
Yes. Yeah, I
Gotcha.
highly recommend it to
Gotcha.
anybody.
One personal goal you would like to accomplish.
Uh, Outside of the industry, I want to make my own ramen from scratch.
Nice.
I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet. I want to, but I haven't done it yet. I've done like the small simulations of it, but I haven't done like the authentic yet.
Mm.
Inside the industry, I have a bucket list of things that I want to do, and it got to the point where last year I had the bucket list. I completed 90% of the bucket list. So I thought that was going to take me a long time, but
Wow.
I had a huge string of good luck that it just completed most of the bucket list, and I went, oh my gosh, there's only a few things left on it, so I'm going to expand the bucket list, and I would say I would love to be either a main protagonist in an RPG, a side like a companion character in an RPG, um, or a comedic character, a completely comedic like a non-human character. That's what I would like.
Very interesting. Like you mentioned, like Red 13, like that kind of like.
Something like that, more like a claptrap sort of thing
Oh, Claptrap, yeah, yeah,
from
yeah, from
Borderlands.
Borderlands.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, just something ridiculous. I think that would be so much fun to
Your
do.
robot or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. I guess that kind of ties into the last one, which is what's your dream role like for you to land in anything? It doesn't have to be anime or video games, or just what is your dream role?
I am generally I'm of the mindset of I will anything is good. I'm super happy just to be doing the thing. Um, so it doesn't matter to me whether you pull me in and I'm four different NPCs and that's all I am. I'm just happy to be there. I think I would love to be like a companion. I don't think I'll ever be the main protagonist, but I would love to be like the companion character that's either the big loud guy or the edge lord sort of guy. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you never know. You could get a main character role in the future, like Final Fantasy 17 or something.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Hopefully one
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, yeah, I mean, hopefully in the near future.
day.
Yeah, but go ahead. How did I think you have something?
All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yeah. So basically, um, you mentioned a lot about like the roles and everything that you would want to play, which is fantastic. I personally think you would definitely be able to be a protagonist, especially as someone who casts voice actors. So, you
Oh, well,
know,
thank you.
um, maybe we'll talk later. So it'll be great. But besides that, what is your ultimate aim as a voice actor? And like, how do you want your performance to really resonate with your audience as well when they like experience, whatever title it is that they're watching or playing?
I've kind of touched upon this before. The glory, the accolades don't mean as much to me. Uh, as it does knowing that the role that I've done has provided someone with a bit of relief, a laugh, pulled them away from whatever hellscape maybe they're going through, help them through something, brought them some level of peace, allowed them to just have some fun, laughing with friends. Those are the things that have actual meaning to me. And you know what's the funniest thing? I may never know any of it. I may never know whether I've succeeded or not. I do hope that I've brought someone a smile, someone a laugh, um, someone a cry, maybe not because I want to make you cry, but because, what I did had meaning. That is what I'm shooting for. Because at the end of the day, a trophy will sit on a shelf and collect dust. But if you affect or touch someone's life in that way with an art form, it can last beyond you, even after you are gone. Because the lesson that a person learns, the feeling you gave someone, might transition to their son, their daughter, their friend, something. And that is how I view myself as living on.
It's like that. You're like your legacy.
Yeah,
And
that
I'm
that
sure
would be
that
the legacy.
yeah, chat's like going crazy, but I think you have already done that. And more.
Then that I need you all to know that means everything to me. I've had a couple of you come up and say that to me, and thank you, truly, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Awesome. So that's like all of the rapid fire stuff, and I just have one more question, Jimmy, for
Yes.
you. What are your closing thoughts or advice for people who want to get into voice acting? And what you went through and everything. Like, obviously, that's from your perspective, but what is like something you want people to take away from this?
Let's look at it from a couple of different perspectives. From a business-minded perspective, you're going to need a support system for yourself. So find a job, work the job you're working. If you're going to school, continue with school. Do the best you can. You're going to need money to supplement and get coaching, get equipment, things like that. Do not spend all of your money on thousands of dollars of equipment
Mm.
just to start. This is a slow process. Build as you go. There's plenty of guides and tutorials online. Just do a little research first, and you'll be able to find good starter gear to practice. There are lots of websites that you can use to when you're just starting. Casting Call Club, I Want to Be a Voice Actor,
Mm.
Skills Hub, stuff like that. Those are resources that you'll be able to use to move forward, get a little bit of coaching, learn. Um, Focus on the acting, not the voice. Be good at cold reading. Have a thick skin. Pay attention to the people around you because the point of acting is to emulate life. You are emulating the life around you, even if it's a fantastical life. The people are still people, and they are very similar to the people that you're here. So you will learn just from watching people interact. Why are people doing this? Why are they saying this? These are things that you're going to need to learn. It is going to be a challenge. You're going to mess up. Don't beat yourself up. All right, all right. Where are my perfectionists at? Yeah, look me in the eyeballs, perfectionists. Especially the perfectionists that have the art already, but you haven't released the art already because you're terrified of what might happen. Because if you release the art, people might hate it, but people might also love it. And you're not really sure which you're more afraid of, whether they're going to love it or whether they're going to hate it. I know you because I am you, and you're probably delaying what you could already be doing. Take the shot. Go for it. Go anyways. You miss all the basketball shots that you don't take. So take that. Um, I delayed for long enough. Don't make that same mistake. So I was in the audience one time, and it was with a panel of voice actors. And they said, "Who wants to come up and give it a shot?" And I went like this
Oh.
because I didn't believe that I could do it. I didn't think that, I had the skill. I didn't want to mess up. I was afraid of people laughing at me. It doesn't matter. No matter what you do, people are gonna probably say something bad about you anyway. Take the shot anyway. Go for it. Raise your hand. Walk up on stage and try. And even if you mess it up, more than likely, most of the people in that audience won't remember that moment anyways. The only person who will remember is you. So go for it anyways. Just trust me. Try. Go for it.
Yeah, and failure is
That
only
that
if you stop.
yeah. Uh, that's literally it. And listen to me. You may do a thing where you start and you're like, I don't know if this is for me. It's also okay to stop and do something else. There are so many things you can do in this industry as well. Look at the three of us. All three of us are different, and all three of us are in the industry. So
Right.
there are dozens of different types of jobs, and your skill set might be elsewhere. You might be really good at picking out talent, knowing who is good and why they are good. Maybe you would be a wonderful agent or a manager or a casting director. Maybe you're good at directing people, but not acting yourself. So you could be in the booth telling people how they should be doing a thing or what they should be thinking about. Do those things for yourself. Learn, expand, grow, try. Just try.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that super good word of advice. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people in chat is really appreciate that as well. Thank
Mm.
you.
Yeah.
So right now, we're gonna do a little section where we just take a couple of questions from the audience. That will be screened.
Okay.
Yes. So during this time, for those in chat, if you guys can just please highlight your questions so mods can find them, and we'll like look over them really quickly and choose maybe about like 3 to 5 questions that you're comfortable with answering. Jimmie, and then while we're waiting
Yeah.
though, you guys, if you have any questions for me or for Harada, feel free to ask us anything. Or Jimmie, you can ask us.
Oh. Harada, I have a
What
question.
up?
Okay. So, was your style inspired by Noctis, or are you the inspiration for
Oh
Noctis?
no, my hair's no longer like Noctis. No, I've had this hair. I had my hairstyle and everything since I was like, what was it? Since like I was like 14, and so now I'm 35, right? So, but it used to be long with the bangs and everything, and then yeah, there are funny stories that I would tell, Audrey all the time, like when I was working on 15, and Tabata-san and everyone. There were digital promos that I would pose for. So like there was like the
Yes.
shirt and everything that they had for,
Yes.
and then they would just replace and stuff like that. So did that. I have the official like Rowan Noctis outfit and everything like that, and all of that other stuff like in the closet over there. And then I guess the funniest one, and I was telling Audrey because I was doing some stuff at E3 2018, and then I was goofing off with some friends, and it was in
Oh my god, I was there. I was at E3
yeah, yeah,
2018.
and
We missed
so it
each
was
other.
and I was in the behind with all the staff and everything, and then I was hired by Square Enix Japan, but I worked predominantly with Square Enix America and everything, and so I was just, like goofing off and talking with some friends who also were devs that were working on like with Crystal Dynamics and everything, and we were just talking, and then to the corner, then there's the former CEO of Square Enix, and he was like, he just kept looking because normally Final Fantasy like
Is
don't
he
there's
like,
not like
wait
any
a minute?
cosplayers or
This
anything,
guy.
and he's like, why is Noctis here? And he was
He's
like
like.
talking, and then one of the executive assistants, and she's such a sweetheart. She was like talking and like laughing, and it was a cool moment. So I'll leave it there. But that doesn't really
I'm
answer your question. But I'm just saying it was all
I'm
more
convinced you're
serendipitous.
Noctis.
No, I'm not. No, but Ray's a good friend.
Yeah, and his dog literally looks like Torgal, so.
you, you
Yeah,
come in
yeah,
with
that's why
like
I have
this.
this Torgo's pin and stuff like that. So yeah.
That's so cool. You have this like this aura of this cool, calm confidence, and you have the perfectly coiffed hair and the drip going on. I'm like, this man, this man is like an icon right now.
But we're talking about you, Jimmy. So we'll
No,
focus
no,
back
no.
on you. So
This is you.
I did laugh that you said you like Borderlands and stuff because I was with Gearbox and everything. So when you said Tiny
Oh,
Tina, I was
really?
like, yeah, yeah. Actually, the first animation I ever did was for Borderlands 2. So
Oh, and that's my favorite one is Borderlands 2. That's so
yeah.
cool. And see, oh, that's another thing, everybody. This is a very small world and a small industry. One of the best tips that I can give you is just don't be a jerk because it's this big. And if you're a jerk and it gets around, that's it. So just be professional, be nice. That's it. It's very simple.
It's just like how the yeah, how did this story, like the CEO's like, wait a minute, did we hire a cosplayer? Like, why is a cosplayer here?
Yeah.
Why is Noctis here?
But that was funny. And then they said, oh, he's Tabata's boy. And he's like, oh, that makes sense. So
No, but it's like it's kind of a bad image, right? Because it's like, oh, that makes sense. He's like a fan, like a super fan.
Sure, why not?
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, but yeah, you've had the hair before Noctis was even a character. So
Yeah. So
how did you like?
it was Shadow the Hedgehog. That's the answer.
Shadow?
I'm
Oh,
not kidding.
Shadow. Okay,
Shadow.
okay.
Nice.
Sonic Adventure 2 on the Dreamcast, and then when it was in GameCube. My wife knows, and my wife is so patient because, yeah. And actually, a lot of my former, or not former, they're still really good. A lot of my good friends at Square Enix America, they're now over at Sega. So, and working on Sonic. So, whenever there's like Shadow stuff, they always geek out with me. So,
Oh,
it's
that's
cool.
cool.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, super awesome. I always thought that your hair was from like Sasuke.
No, I'm not actually emo.
Oh my god, oh, that's too good. But yeah, I think that we have like quite a lot of questions right now. Mods, let me know like how much more like you want to add to this thing so I can look through it. You can just text me or see how. Yeah, I see like there's like a million questions, so I have to just quickly look at them and
Send them. Let's do it.
okay. How are you with time, Jimmy? We have been going for 3 hours.
It's been 3 hours?
Yeah.
Let's keep going. I don't care.
Okay. Harada, you okay with time? We could.
There we go. I
Okay.
have the best wife in the world, so she's so patient.
Oh yeah. I think like Makoto out there is like, holy shit, we're not eating lunch right now. Yeah, it's fine. I have time too. Okay. I saw one really good one. A very interesting one from Yoon Tsuki. And from Chad. Have you picked up anything from characters you voice, whether they're like small quirks or some lines that you just kind of like start saying now?
Lines that I start saying?
Or quirks.
Or quirks.
Like stealing the moonlight.
Oh,
You didn't finish
yeah,
everything.
I stole the moonlight. I literally, because of Hugo, I'll be like standing in line or something and I'll start doing this. Because this is my pose for
Yeah.
Hugo. And I'll just stand here like this. And I'll do this. And I'll do this. It's unconscious too. So yes, I do pick up things every now and again.
That's awesome. Yeah, like so I'm guessing when you're like in the line for the grocery store, you're like, taking
Yeah.
a while.
Did I forget melons?
Let me just go through something. Let's see. There's just so many questions. Funniest bloopers you had during recording that you feel comfortable sharing.
Bloopers. Oh,
My favorite darkness.
there's
Sorry, that's her name.
bloopers happen all the time. Most of the time when I mess up, it's literally me going like, if let's say the line is, "Hey guys, let's go over there." I'll be like, "Hey guys, let's go," and that's me doing a blooper. The funniest, literally, it was the effortlessly one. That was
Oh,
it. They teased me. I was like, "Oh, I know I can say this." It was a lot of fun. Yeah. That blooper. I don't know if it'll ever end up in anything, but yeah.
how long did that take to get over that effortlessly delivery of effortless?
I don't want to talk about
Okay.
it. I
Gotcha.
don't want to talk about it. It took a hot second. It took me like at least 7, 8 takes to get through it,
Oh.
just because I kept stumbling on the word.
I mean, I can't even say that. Like, it's not really a word that you would say in like normal conversation.
Yeah, and when you combine it with different words, and
One question from Rina Hayashi. Have you ever recorded a scene with a dummy mic? I'm not sure what that is, but do you angle towards your current mic setup differently to change direction or of approach for the player's audio?
so mic technique will be different. So in this case, this is the microphone, and generally when you're doing it, you want to be like this because the sound is a little. You can hear the difference now, as opposed to when I'm back here. You can hear the difference in the microphone. I sat back for most of this because sometimes I get excited and loud, and I don't want to do that right here. So the mic technique, the pop filter is meant to stop plosives. Plosives are p sounds. This only helps a little bit. Here's another acting trick for you. Throw the jutsu sign in front of your face like you're about to do shadow clone and do this in front of your face so that when you go popcorn, the air splits over this, then has to hit this so it dissipates. Because otherwise, if you're wearing headphones, turn down your volume for a moment. I'll give you a sec. Okay. Because otherwise, you're going to get a sound.
Oh.
That air coming in is what will happen, and you're going to have to redo the take. So if I'm going to do it again. So if I do popcorn, did you hear that into your headphones or into the speaker? That's what you don't want. That's why you have the pop filter. That's why you want to do this so it splits the air. Sometimes you can even angle this way a little bit so you can still hear my voice. But now if I go popcorn, petty, pretty, it's not as into the microphone as well. If I yell sometimes, you lean back, something like that. If you want to pretend that you're close to someone's ear, you'll lean in like this. That it's all just technique. And don't hit this or have a squeaky chair like I'm in right now. This chair's been squeaking this entire time. I'm
I
like,
can't
oh
even hear
God,
it.
this is gonna get picked up.
Oh, really? I can't hear it at all.
Yeah, I have a squeaky chair. And that's the problem. So sometimes if I'm a character in a position of power, normally a lot of times you'll record standing up. I like to sit down for a person in power because people in positions of power don't stand. They sit. But if you have a squeaky chair like this, it's useless to you.
It's like you have this like amazing take, and there's like a squeak in the middle.
Yep, and then you got to do it
You're
again, and
like,
it will
goddamn.
never be as good again. Yet.
Yeah. Because it's like not as natural from like the first timer, I guess, of the delivery, right?
Yeah.
You always use this mic.
Yes, this is the TLM 103.
They use this one for like recording music too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like vocal
Yeah,
recording.
this is one of the industry standards. There's
Right.
also the Sennheiser 416. There's also the ones that are way more expensive than both of those, and that's like $4, $5, $6, $7, $8,000 or more.
Gotcha. Um, Annette Brovali from chat's asking, how long did it take you to not do word focused delivery?
I won't. I don't know the exact answer to that, but it does take time, and it does take. It's literally just practice. So, for example, the best example I can give you, if you're learning to play piano, playing with both hands can be challenging, but then one day you just do it and then it feels natural. It's going to be one of those moments. Just
Gotcha.
practice. Cold
Gotcha.
reading.
Hey boy, let's Destiny. She's a mod asking, did you pull for Hugo when his banner launched, and did you get him? And will you pull for him if he's gonna be rerun? You didn't pull for
I
him.
I wasn't playing then. I am playing now, so I didn't get to pull. So I have to decide, am I going to save up my stuff or am I going to pull for Evelyn and then save up stuff and hope that I have enough whenever Hugo's released? But I don't know when Hugo's going to be released cuz it was pretty soon. So yes, I'm 100% pulling for him. It's just, am I going to pull for anybody else?
Gotcha. Um, let me just see some other ones. Lee Left Eyeball is asking, other than making a mistake on a line, what's your definition example of messing up royally?
Oh, royally, bad attitude. Don't come in with
Oh,
a bad attitude. Don't do the whole I'm the star. I'm the all that's a waste of your time anyway. Don't worry about something like that because then you get a bad reputation. Treating people poorly, treating people backstage poorly. This is why me doing all the other jobs before doing this was so helpful because working backstage, you get to understand what it is to work behind the scenes. You need to understand as an actor or as a performer or as a singer, you are on stage for what, 2 to 3 hours, something like that, maybe a little longer. But everybody else backstage has already been there 16 hours, 19 hours, 22 hours. I've done all that. I've done the 26-hour shift where you start and you work for 26 hours straight.
wow.
One,
"26
the
hours?
next,
So you don't
into the
sleep at
yep.
all?"
No, you go into the green room during your lunch break and you get a half-hour nap or whatever, wake up and keep going. It
Wow.
is dangerous. I don't do that. I don't recommend that. but working backstage, you understand what goes into it, so you have a better appreciation of what you're doing on stage. You don't succeed without them. You don't. So
Wow.
remember that. One of the nicest people to ever come backstage, Dolly Parton,
Oh.
obviously. Dolly Parton is just as sweet, just as kind, and just as wonderful as all the rumors say. She came back. She shook all of our hands individually. She said, "Thank you." That is rare. Be like Dolly.
Awesome. Light BYUB is asking, when do you get to view your character's design? Is it after you land the role, and does their appearance change the voice for you? Also,
Mm.
have you ever played The Last of Us?
Oh, good questions. Um, Yes, sometimes you get to see the character's design. And yes, sometimes it will. So, for example, if the person's in like full plate mail armor, as opposed to Hugo, who's dressed in a snazzy suit that's sort of like a little flair, a little mafia bossy, a little charlatan-y,
Mm.
it will change the way you do your performance because you won't do the knight in armor as, as Hugo.
Mm.
It just wouldn't sync up. So yeah, character design does. And if they change the design, you might change your performance. It all kind of depends on the feeling that you get. There's no like set rule sort of thing. It's sort of a if you feel it, give it a shot, go for it. And if the client doesn't want it, go back. Oh, and for The Last of Us, yes, I've played both.
Wow,
And
nice.
yes, and I did really enjoy both, even though they're both very, very intense.
Did you watch the live action?
I haven't yet. It's
Oh,
on my it's all a time thing. I have it
yeah, I know.
ready to go. I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, when you ever have time, that's great. It's
Oh
so
yeah.
good.
I
Yeah.
I'm going to. I can't wait.
No worries. Blum CSI is asking, do you self-direct sometimes yourself? And how does that differ from working with a voice acting director?
Okay. Whenever you do an audition, you're directing yourself. But in this particular case, I don't think that's what you mean. I have done video games and projects where there is no director and it's just me and I have to direct myself. So you
Oh,
have to be very critical of yourself. You'll deliver a line two or three times, you'll go back and listen to all three. You'll go, no, you don't, the way you're doing it doesn't sound like you know where you are. Get rid of that take. This one's decent, but instead of focusing on the word structure of you should go over there, it shouldn't be you should go over there. It should be you should go over there. And that changes the meaning of the sentence. So
right.
you will have to figure out the sentence structure. So then you put that in a maybe category, and then you listen to the last one, and there's a whole bunch of audio nonsense like a squeaky chair, and then you got to throw that out, and you do another couple, you listen to it and go, okay, that might be good. So let's keep these two that I can deliver them to the client. That's kind of how you're gonna play things out. Um, know your sense of environment, where you are, what's going on around you, who you're talking to, the distance they are from you, your relationship to them. Are they your best friend? Are they your lover? Are they your enemy? Are they your frenemy? All these things matter and they all determine how you speak to them.
Awesome. That's very interesting. Kind of on the same subject, Sweetle Nora is asking, what is the most difficult script you usually struggle with, like a type of script or type of line? Not the word
The
effortlessly.
type of script that I actually struggle with the most are non-character based scripts, ironically.
Um,
Um, certain commercial reads,
mm,
certain like corporate style stuff because and everyone says, well, it is still a character, you are a character just saying those things in that way, and I'm like, yes, that's true, but it's actually something it's not necessarily a struggle, but it's not my niche. That's not my niche. I, all the commercials that I've landed have been straight up legit characters. A golden retriever puppy,
yeah.
a character in a restaurant, um, a CEO delivering information during a VR tutorial, something like that. they're all like true characters, not someone saying the all new Toyota for 1995 a month or something. It
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where I'm like,
Gotcha. Lady Havoc 70 asking, I'm gonna just rephrase, but like, how online are you? Like, how aware are you of like stuff online?
oh, how aware? Um, Moderate, moderate. It's not like I'm on. I'll scroll. I'll doom scroll. I'll go on Twitter a little
Yeah.
bit, but I'm not like online. Online. That's why my social media presence is literally only Twitter, and that's
Right.
pretty much it.
Basically,
Yeah.
you're not terminally online. You touch grass.
It's more like I'm laying in grass as I'm touching the social media phone and doom.
Your phone, you're doom
I
scrolling
yeah.
while lying on grass.
I'm dual wielding. I've got like a clump of grass as I'm going like this.
Yeah,
I learned from Elden Ring. I know how to do this.
it's like low key. Like, yeah, I'm not terminally online. I'm outside.
I'm outside when I'm doing it. It's fun.
Gotcha.
I
Thank
still
you.
use the moss I used for Foley when I was throwing. Holding that.
It's like right in front of you right now.
Yeah. It's right over there.
It's like just
Don't
need to
worry.
touch it when
I'm
I
fine.
need to, not be
Yeah.
online. I saw a question that was kind of interesting. It's like I kind of lost the person's handle, but they're asking, do you ever like do funny voices when you're talking to your talking to your dog?
Yes. Ironically, I don't like do it constantly. We do it for fun every now and again. But when I read to her specifically, I do it. So there's this one book with a pigeon who decides to eat a hot dog. I make her laugh hysterically when I do it, and she loves it. And I love doing it because it makes her like kids laughing is it makes you laugh too. So it's a joyous thing. So yeah, I do.
Awesome. Some people are asking if you would attend cons outside of the U.S.
100% that's on my bucket list. So you know how to had to expand the bucket list? That's it. If any con wants me in the world, send messages.
I think yeah, like fans can just technically like message the con and be like, "Hey, can you invite Jimmy?"
I would love to. I'm hoping the UK, Germany, somewhere in Europe. Yeah, that would be great. But I will travel wherever.
Gotcha. Interesting question. If you could make a game, but like if you could
Ooh.
actually make a game, what would it be like? Or if you could be part of a dream game, what would you want it to be like? As in a dream game that has not existed at the moment. Like, what would you want? This is by
So are we are
Raha.
By Robin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my wife asked that question.
Okay.
So a dream game that doesn't exist. So I'm gonna assume that we mean it's an IP that doesn't exist.
Yeah, or
So
like
we would have
if
to
you could make a
build it
game
from
yourself.
scratch. If I could design the game myself. If I were to do it immediately in this style, it would be just because of my love and for RPGs, it would be an RPG style. It would be in a storytelling manner in which choices do actually have an impact and can completely change the course of the game. Even if it meant taking longer to complete the game, I would do it that way because I think it's very, very effective in creating a lasting legacy. Um, my initial thing would be to say a fantasy setting, but I don't think that would be where I would end up. I think it would be something a little more unique. I would love to see something more in like Miyazaki style.
Hmm.
I feel like that's an underutilized art style in the game world. Yes, there are a couple, but I think that style is just so beautiful. Um, Oh gosh, this is so hard. Okay, so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start journaling about the game I'm gonna design, and I'm gonna
And
have
then
to
you'll hit
come
me up,
back.
Jimmy.
And then Harada will make the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
have to
then
come
you'll
back.
Let's do it. We're already partners.
This will be
um
fun. This is how this we're gonna do it.
There's an interesting question from Joan without NE. There's so many
Mm.
laughing ranges in characters. When you do laughing parts for a character, which type of laugh range is the most challenging?
The evil laugh, because it is challenging to do an evil laugh without it coming off fake.
Oh,
So you have to make sure that it is a very sincere laugh. The a lot of the times when people who are mentally insane or something of that nature, their immediate instinct is to go with that stereotypical crazy. But that crazy isn't always as scary as the quiet guy who smiles at you and just says it very deadpan with a small chuckle. That guy is horrifying because you could wake up in a bathtub without your kidneys the next day, sort of thing. That's that guy. He's very so perfecting an evil laugh, I think, is the hardest.
interesting. Like, I guess it's just you have to kind of get into that psyche too, right?
Yeah. And that can be very dark for a lot of people
Right.
because being an actor, you may have to delve into things that will make you uncomfortable, and you need to decide whether or not you're okay with that. So you set your own boundaries, and it is okay to do so.
Awesome. Thank you. Chu Hugom asking Jimmy, can we hear you sing a little?
Single, oh my gosh, I knew. All right, I knew it was coming too. Please keep in mind, I am not going to be putting any K-pop thing. I'm also very
I was like, oh man,
dehydrated.
Golden.
I'm also very dehydrated. I ran out of water
Oh
like an
no.
hour and a half
Do you
ago,
want
and
to take a
I'm
break? We can take a break. Like,
no, we might as well just go for it because I'm here. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Please don't judge me too harshly. All
it
right.
can just be one line. It doesn't have to be all out, Jimmy.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
Oh my god. Jimmy, tomorrow you're gonna see online. There's gonna be like a million TikToks and a million reels
Oh
with
my
that
god.
exact line. With
My voice was all scratchy too. I was
no,
like, it's all
it's
right.
literally gonna happen. You're gonna see so much of that. I think
It
you
was
just like made
fine.
millions of people around the world explode. So thank you.
I did my best.
Oh, your gain is a little down right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nope, can't hear you.
No, wait. Hold on.
I think you
Check
just
1, 2. There we go.
you
I did my
just
best. Hopefully it was
made
okay.
probably like one of the most viral memes that's gonna happen in the next few weeks. You will.
Oh,
I can already see it.
what have I done?
Oh my god. That was amazing. Holy crap, you can sing so well. I mean,
Oh,
like
thank you.
you've only
Thank
been
you.
in you said choir for a couple years, but like
Yeah.
do you
Uh
not want to pursue a
my
career in like singing?
my song style I learned from Frank Sinatra, so that
Right.
was the style that I learned. So I can't do like the really beautiful riffs and runs that a lot of people do.
I mean,
Mine
you
is
sounded
very
great.
like straightforward with a hint of vibrato. That's about it.
That was amazing. Yeah, thank you
Oh,
so much
thank you.
for that. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
literally expecting just a one line.
There's the debut of me singing a full thing to the entire world.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, I can already imagine. Maybe as we are speaking right now, someone is making it.
All
It's
right,
gonna be
yeah,
shared
well,
around
have
the
fun
world.
with
It's
it.
not.
Have fun.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Mm, mm.
Sorry, just a couple. I guess a little bit more, just a few more questions, if you're okay with this.
Yeah.
Sesame Fruit is asking, would you ever cosplay a character you've played, or do you want to
Oh,
cos
100%.
or would you ever cosplay any character?
Yeah, 100%. But if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it properly. So my sister is a costume designer,
Oh
who
wow,
focuses in musical theater and wedding dresses. Excuse me. So if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna hire her to have me create a really, really good one. So maybe one day, but it needs to be really, really good.
that's awesome. Yeah, you like just show up at a panel and like Hugo's like
Yeah,
top hat and
full
everything,
on. Yeah, it's gonna be
the
full on.
wig and everything. That's awesome. Do you have Sugar Sparks is asking, do you have any advice on getting into the industry and gaining connections?
It is all about persistence, perseverance, professionalism, workshops. We mentioned those. Those are going to be great to start. Start with the workshops. You're going to learn from other people's acting. You're going to learn from the directors. And if you've been practicing and you have some skills already, you're going to get to showcase your talent a little bit. In person is best, but if you can't, Zoom is good. Um, Sincerity, honesty, integrity. Those are the
Right.
three things you're going to want. You don't want to go and start doing connections. Just be like, I need to build connections so I can be a star. That's not what you want. You want to make sure that you have a life where your connections are authentic and sincere, and you're meeting people. They know who you truly are. You know who they truly are, and then you have end up with they no longer become connections. They just kind of become your friends. And that's your goal. That's what you want. Professionalism, kindness, understanding.
Yeah, and just like a genuine connection with people.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can
Genuine.
when you go into the
Genuine.
industry, like someone's trying to fake it. It's very easy to see who's trying to fake it. Yeah, just out of personal experience as well.
If I may, to piggyback off that, you know, one thing that Ray and Robbie and Max, what they have experienced, and this is what I try to tell everyone in whatever field, whether it be voice acting or anything within the entertainment industry, is don't try to view like your peers in workshops or in classes or anything as like rivals so much as
Mhm.
they will undoubtedly, if you both pick each other up, they're going to be, your peers in a few years. Like I went to a university in San Francisco, and even literally tomorrow, my wife and we're going to be having dinner with two of my classmates. One is now like leading the layout animation at Lucasfilm for Star Wars, and then his wife is over at Pixar. Um, the people you go to school with or you go to workshops with, they're going to become your peers. And instead of trying to build the network of all the people who are probably dinosaurs like my age, like, by the time you're in there and everything, I
Heather, you're
might
the
be
youngest out
retiring.
of all of us.
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
whatever. But like other people might be retiring, it's like it's futile to try to win those people. You should really try to build each other up, because that is how you build a healthy network, a healthy uh, basically industry. Like what happens right now, there's so many layoffs, and like as Audrey knows, but like when it happens with me, and it has happened, at other companies and stuff, like it's pretty fast for me to like bounce back because of the network that I've built. And that's what I try to tell everybody. So even with voice acting, like your network is going to be key. It's going to be your backbone, but at the same time, always give back. Even if you land something, don't try to just then fall into this escape or whatever, saying like, oh, I'm just too busy. And like not responding to the text messages, not talking to your friends who are still looking for help. Because if they start, becoming something and then you want to talk to them, that speaks to your character. So really focus and build your character and be a good person.
I think for people, it's just being genuine. I think is the most important thing. Yeah, genuinely liking what you want, what you're doing, and genuinely wanting to know the person that you want to know is the most important. Is a key, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, and just like not going in arrogantly, Yeah, and your peers are your they're not your rivals. Like yeah, Harada said, they are people who will help build you up as well, as long as you can help them too.
If you all treat each other well, respectfully, they're going to become some of your biggest supporters, your
Hmm.
biggest fans too, because you might be competing for the same roles, but listen, there will always be more roles, more projects, more everything. You might not land that, but there are ones in the future. And if everybody's just building each other up, you're going to build a skyscraper, and it's going to be awesome.
Exactly.
One thing I can add a little bit that Ray actually did, and again, like it's funny that you mentioned Noctis and everything, Jimmy. I appreciate it. I've known Ray for
Actually,
quite
you
some
don't even
time.
know the story because we were talking about like I was talking to Jimmy and then I was like, yeah, like his hair has been like that for a while. And he's like, wait, like can I ask about his hair? And I was like, I mean, sure. And then the thing that's funny is I asked you how to do the other day. I was like, are you gonna do your hair for this interview? Just curious.
Is he Noctis? He's Noctis, isn't he?
we
I
No,
know
we
he's
set
the
it we
inspiration.
set it up just so he can ask about your hair.
perfect,
The
perfect.
backstory.
But yeah, like one thing for back to helping people. I'm kidding, but for networking and everything, one thing that Ray actually did, Ray Chase, like, um, and it really benefited him for his personal project as well, outside of, well, sort of outside of voice acting, is, you know, when he was getting into the industry, he also knew about like other events or conventions that really would hone in and like benefit like his goals, which is like the Game Developers Conference. It's in San Francisco. He would drive up. He would make the drive up because he lived, obviously in Southern California, back and forth, and he would do that. And that's how him and I actually bonded because he was at an event and he said, "Oh, he goes to the Game Developers Conference." And my wife and I, we actually worked at the Game Developers Conference. Oh, really cool! And so we really formed a friendship through that, like a decade ago. But from there, he then several years ago he showed me a game that he was working on where you just date everything, right?
Oh.
And now he actually like released it and it's very successful, and it's a small story, again, not just trying
Success.
to talk this about like Ray so much, but it also shows just how small the industry is. The person who casted Ray, I won't say his name or anything, but he casted Ray and Robbie and all of the Choco Bros in Final Fantasy 15. He worked at Square Enix Japan, and he was like, doing, also like, various things with like Kingsglaive and all that sort of stuff. He helped me, get a job at Square Enix Japan, and then he ended up leaving Japan to go to the States, and he ended up working at Nintendo. Long story short, that very same person is now my wife's boss. So it's very funny. And like he's doing totally different things. My wife works in Nintendo on completely different thing, but it's just a small, small world, and just how funny that all shapes. So I'm just trying to circle it back to tell people like you never know where your life's going to take you, and really just really focus inwards and build your character. Don't try to be who you're not, but try to emulate the people that inspire you, and always try to make time, because it's very easy. I see it all the time where people say, "Oh, I'm just too busy." If you're too busy to help people, then you shouldn't be expected for people to help you as well. If you truly care, you would find the time. You don't have to bend over backwards, but a 5 minute call is a 5 minute call. It just takes 5 minutes. That's all it takes, and that's all some people need to just keep going forward in these, time, like these crazy times right now. So that's all.
That was perfectly said. Perfectly said. Yes.
That's awesome. Thank you guys. There's two more questions I think, and then I
Yeah.
think we can wrap up. But one of them is by one Drix. Have you ever improvised something in the booth that actually made it in the final cut?
Oh, I don't know if I can say it.
Oh, that's totally fine then.
No, and it was for ZZZ too.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know if they'll ever use it. No, I can't, because if they use it, it was
It's all good, but it's
It
like
was it
something you
was
just thought of.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We were like, we finished the line and we were joking around, and then I pretended to be Hugo, and I just threw out a line, and they were like, save it, and put it in the bag." And I'm like, "That's fantastic. I hope it gets used."
That's awesome.
So yes, but I can't say what it is.
Okay, okay, that's cool. But at least people like, or like, the companies, different companies you work with, they actually do allow a little bit of improv.
Yeah. Yeah, so, sometimes, just so long as you don't like go overboard with it. But yes, improv can also lighten the mood, boost morale, get the creative juices flowing too. So yes, improv is very valuable.
Awesome. Sacred for Forever is asking, do you think fictional characters can teach us about empathy more than real people?
Oh, 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 that is a beautifully philosophical question. Um, it depends on the person and the life. It may or may not be empathy. I think empathy is just one of the things, perhaps. Yes. Um, so there's a story of one of my acting teachers. I'm not sure whether or not he would want me to say, so I will just allude, even though he said it on his own stuff before, so it's out there. But just out of respect, very wonderful man. Uh, he played a father, and a person came up to him at a convention and said, "I didn't have a dad. You taught me what it was like to have a father." So there are moments in this when you will provide for someone, something that they didn't necessarily have. So yes, there can be lessons that can be learned. There can be wisdom that can be gained, that may not result from reality. Uh, there are still real people creating the story and the fiction. This is why humanity itself has had uh, plays based on morals and stories to teach us lessons. It is something that we just do. So yes, I would say yes.
That's awesome. Beautifully said. Thank you so much. I think we just have one more question because it's
Yeah.
getting late. I know it's like almost 1 a.m. or something for some of you. No, even I don't even know. Yeah, but anyway, question from Ninja Cat 25. The state of the world is so crazy. Any advice on how does one keep going or continue to pursue their aspirations? What keeps you grounded?
I can only speak subjectively in this particular case. For me, you will need to find what it is for you. Um, while it is cliche, it is real. My family is the thing that keeps me grounded. Real. The reason to keep going, the reason to keep fighting, the reason to keep getting better as a person, better as a father, better as a husband, um, being more kind, more patient, more considerate, more understanding. These are the things that have value to me, and I hope will extend to the people that I love, that I care about. Um, you may need to find what your quote in this particular case family would be the reason in spite of all the chaos around you. um, Remember that in an infinite sea of darkness, a single a candle can banish that darkness away and create a light around you. So you don't always need a grand sun to banish all the dark. Sometimes it's just a little light around you that you can give to another and another and another and another. And now you have a whole row of candles that are creating light around you. That may be a good way of creating a path or a way or a sanctuary.
Thank you so much. That was beautifully said, Jimmy. Um, I think like this entire interview, it's been very long, but like a lot of lore from from you, but a lot of really good wise advice and just like I think it's very invaluable information for everyone listening and for those of anyone in the world who wasn't able to watch it live, they would be able to still reflect back and watch the VOD and just hear your words of inspiration is just really really I think
Oh,
like
thank you.
good for everyone. I'm like looking at chat a little bit. I'm like, oh yes, like they're saying what I'm thinking too. So, I just want to thank you so much, Jimmie, for your time today. I'm extremely
No, thank
honored.
you.
No, no, no.
It didn't feel like any time had gone by at all. When you said it
That's
was like
true.
midnight, I was like,
You're
what?
like, no. Yeah, I mean, we've talked, a couple of times before, but it's kind of just like, oh my gosh, where did the time go? Yeah, but I do want to thank you so much as well as Harada for taking so much time out of your busy
Thank you,
schedules
both
to
of you. Thank you so
to do this
much.
interview today, and I'm very honored still to be able to interview you, Jimmie, and to also let the world know who you are aside from the voice, like you're a gamer. Yeah, you're a very well versed person, and just like in the industry, I really am excited to see what else you'll be in, from here on
Oh,
out. So I hope this was a
thank
good
you.
experience for you.
Oh, 100%. I loved every minute of it. And so the next one, when we talk about nothing but Final
Oh
Fantasy,
my
it's
gosh,
going to be
yes.
even
Can we?
longer.
Can we do that? Whenever you have time. I
Yeah,
can talk
yeah.
hours. We can do theories. Like I was one thing I was gonna ask you is like if you played Rebirth, like because you played Remake. What's your
Remake.
theory on Aerith? Is she alive? Is she dead? Like
Oh, see, I don't. Oh God, I don't know what's gonna happen because I haven't seen any spoilers yet,
right,
so I
right.
don't
But
know
in
what's gonna
Remake, it's
happen
like
yet.
kind of like so a little
Yeah, yeah,
sus, right? They're
that,
like
and they skewed some stuff, so I'm
yeah,
like, you're
yeah.
throwing me off here. What's going on?
Exactly. Yeah. When you start like playing FF14, like we can talk.
Okay, okay, okay.
But yeah, no. Honestly, I hope this was a really great experience,
It was truly, it was.
and for
Thank you
us
to
as
both of you.
well. Like, thank you for I'm just completely honored that you agreed to an interview with us, and so
Oh, I had so much fun. I had so much fun.
Thank you so much. Harada, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, yeah. So Jimmie, thank you for taking the time to be here. It's been such a joy to hear about your overall path, to voice acting, but more importantly, who you are as a person. I know we touched upon just character in general, and not speaking to the fictional characters, but who you are as a person. I think that the audience can also see you're a person who is not only of great integrity and clear passion, but obviously with a strong sense of accountability. I get a sense of humility, and I'm really excited to see, how things go for you, and hopefully our paths do cross in a professional manner. And I apologize for not kissing your ass as much as I am right now when we do work together, but we will, still kick it.
Shameless.
So.
Thank you. That means so much from both of you. Thank you,
No,
truly.
no, no. Thank you. Jimmie, do you have any closing message you would like to say?
To everyone, thank you so much for allowing me to take 4 hours of your time. I truly appreciate the opportunity to get to chat with everybody. I hope I helped you in some sort of way, especially if you are looking to pursue a career in voice acting. And if I ever end up getting to do more conventions, you never ever need to be afraid to come up to me and ask questions. Okay? So please, it is okay to come ask me.
Awesome. So everyone, please follow Jimmie on Twitter. His socials are in chat. I think it's pinned on the top. It's Jimmie Yamaguchi VO. And Harada, please let chat know where to find you as well.
On LinkedIn, and that's it.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, I don't use social media anymore, so.
It's ironic because like that's what you usually do. Like that's your
Yeah.
job. But yes, thank you, Harada and Jimmie, for being part of this interview. And Jimmie, it was a blast talking with you today. And I think that
You
I
too.
speak for a lot of people when I say that you are an exceptionally talented voice actor and an
Oh, thank you.
inspiration. And I remember in the previous interview, and that you talked about it this interview too, that you just want to give people, you know, like one of your goals is just to make people happy from your roles, or to at least like give people
Yeah.
an escape from the everydays of their life if they're having, you know, like issues in real life, but they can escape to a real and like to, you know, a false, like, you know, imagination and whatnot, different world.
Yeah.
And I think that you've already done that for a lot of people around the world. And I think that there's millions of people around the world who are already very thankful. And I think you already got that goal. So we're all excited to see what you have in store for us from here on out. So we're really looking forward to seeing you in more roles in the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course. Yeah. And also thank you guys in chat for joining. And I hope this interview was fun and that you had good time hanging out with us. And yeah, my socials are also like I probably in the chat bot or something, but you can follow me. I'm aitaikimochi on Twitter. I'm Audrey. I live in Tokyo. And then yeah, Harada is on LinkedIn. Christopher.
What up?
And please, give Jimmie a follow on Twitter as well. Jimmie Yamaguchi VO. And once again, thank you, Jimmie and Harada, for your time. It was a blast talking to both of you.
Yes, it was. Yay.
Looking forward to the Final Fantasy one next time.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Take care.